morning, class. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Sir. Can we start now? Ready na? Who's the class marcher? Sino po ang class marcher today?
Sir, ako po, Fire Trainee Robert Pusugak. Daily class marcher po.
Sugon?
Pusugak po, Pusugak.
Sugak, okay. Good
Total
morning,
strength po,
class marcher.
sir.
Before we... Sige. Ilan total strength?
Total 55 po, sir. And ready for instruction po.
1. Okay, anyway, before we start our lecture, can we first pray? Who can lead the prayer? Can anyone lead a prayer? So, class marcher, please lead the prayer. No one wants to volunteer.
In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, Amen. My Lord, sana po test mo po kami sa anuman na pandemic ngayon. Sana po mas patuloy pa po kami makatuto sa aming mga susunod na mga subject, and then may apply namin sa trabaho. Thank you po. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
Thank you very much, class marcher.
Thank you, sir.
Ano po ang nakikita nyo sa screen? Exam, parang Rona. Ano po nakikita nyo sa screen?
National printing code, sir. Format, parang stamp, sir. Test paper.
Parang exam ang format? Okay.
Test question.
So, before we proceed to the lecture proper, I wanted to answer this question para mag-instill ito sa utak ninyo, and later we will discuss this one by one. Now, tama ba? Parang exam type ang nababasa nyo? Ang nasa screen niyo? Okay. So, can you please answer number 1? I will read it to you. You're conducting site verification and inspection on a certain building under construction when you notice that there was an ongoing building construction whereby a piece of plywood bearing a building permit detail was posted on the latter's construction site. When you came back to office, you found out that no EPSEC was issued for that particular construction. However, there was already set of plans and specification endorsed by the building official to your office more than a week ago, and the fire code was already paid. As plan evaluator, what is the first thing that you should do? Write the building official, immediately inform the city, municipal, commercial, make a letter to the contractor for the stoppage of construction, prepare an inspection order signed by the city, municipal, commercial, and inspect the ongoing building construction, undertake the necessary evaluation and review of the plans and endorse back immediately to the building official the approved plans together with the EPSEC and FS fire safety clearance. Bispo, what do you think is the best, or what is the correct answer? Bispo?
Sir, letter B, sir. Letter B, sir. Letter B, sir.
Letter B. Who else? Who has another answer?
Letter D, sir.
What's another answer?
Letter D.
Letter D, sir.
Letter D?
Yes, sir.
Letter D, aning?
Yes, sir. Delta, sir. Delta.
What's another answer? What's another answer?
Letter E, sir. Letter E. Echo.
This is it. This is situational, ano? This is a situational, ano? What's another answer? Letter B and letter D? Well,
Letter B, sir. Letter B.
wala na ibang answer? May B, may D.
Sir, letter E.
Letter E.
E, echo.
Letter E.
Letter
Okay,
E.
letter C, letter E, letter E. Letter E.
Letter B, sir.
Letter D.
Letter B. Bravo.
Letter C. Delta.
We will go back, ano?
Letter B, sir. Letter B.
Question number 2. What is the next thing that you should do? Anyway, wait. Number 2. What is the next thing that you should do? Write a billing official, immediately inform your CFM, MFM, make a letter to the contractor for the stoppage of operation, letter D, and letter E. So, ano, what is your answer?
Letter D, sir.
Letter D.
Letter D. No. Delta,
Delta,
sir.
sir. Delta.
Delta.
Kung namali kayo sa number 1, may kayo sa number 2.
Letter A, sir. Letter A.
Bravo, sir. Bravo.
Letter A po, sir.
Okay, number 3.
Number 3, sir. Letter Delta, sir. Delta.
Make a letter to the contractor for the stoppage of construction, prepare an inspector order signed by the city municipal per marshal and inspect the ongoing building construction, and make a start. All of the above. Nagtantalitod ko na kayo? Nagtantalitod na kayo? Nagtantalitod na. Sige, tingnan natin yung sagot ha. Natin yung sagot. Letter A, tapos tatlong letter D. Patayin natin. The first thing that you should do is to undertake the necessary evaluation and review of the plans and endorse back immediately to the plan. Approved plans to the effect and FSCY. Yung katong problem ka,
Submitted na, sir.
submitted na sa inyo.
Yes, the plan.
More than 1 week na. More than 1 week. Anong ginawa niyo? Nag-lapse na kayo ng 7 days.
Dito makakain?
Hindi. Pag inaction kayo, wala kayong ginawa. Yung building official, pwede siya mag-issue ng building permit. Liwanag. Meron naririnig na ibang ano. Pakimit po. Naintindihan. So, it is important that right after the plan was is endorsed to your office, immediately you take action, necessary action. You evaluate the plan. Kasi kung kalaban niyo yung building official niyo, technically, in 7 days, in a week, na hindi nila ma-actionan, pwede siya mag-issue ng building permit. Pwede siya mag-issue. I-discuss natin mamaya pagdating natin ng lecture proper. So after that, since the construction is ongoing, we prepare an inspection order signed by the city fire marshal. Inspect niyo yung building. After that, we will prepare an evaluation report or recommendation. And then letter number 4. Oops. Lang, parang nagkakanda wala ito Prepare inspection order, prepare evaluation report. Dapat number 4, you have to write, letter A, you have to write the building official. Kasi kapag hindi yan nag-conform sa fire safety requirement at ongoing na yung construction, the building official that issues the building permit must be informed. Kasi kailangan niya na ipa-implement din ng building official yung requirement. Maliwanag. Naintindihan?
Yes, sir.
So, ang mga gagawin nyo, pag nakikita kayong under construction, binigay na sa inyo yung plano, hindi nyo pa i-evaluate, so evaluate nyo agad yung plano. Tapos, inspect nyo, gawa kayo ng inspection order, then, inspect nyo, then gawa kayo ng report, assuming that the building plan, nung assuming, ito tapos na ito, itong dalawa ito, tapos na ito. Ito lang at ito yan, First, second, tapos na yan. Mag-inspection na tayo. Now, assuming that the building plan did not conform to the fire safety requirements, the best course of action is to prepare kayo ng evaluation report and recommendation with FSEC and submit the same to the chief FSEC for review and for the approval of the city municipal permanent. So, gagawa kayo ng notice of disapproval. Then, since may notice of disapproval kayo, so you have to inform the building official. Not only the building official. Endorse your notice of disapproval to building official. So, dito na tayo para masagot yung question natin kanina. So, our topic for today is the National Building Code of the Philippines, otherwise known as the Presidential Decree 1096. So, Presidential Decree number 1096, popularly known as the National Building Code of the Philippines, was issued on February 19, 1977. So, tagal na, mas matanda pa ito sa akin. Or mas matanda pa ito sa atin. Pero yung iba sa inyo, mas matanda dito. Its purpose is to enforce a uniform standard and requirements of building design, construction, use, and equipment and maintenance in line with the policy of the state to safeguard life, health, property, and public welfare. Please take note of the date, kasi mamaya may significance ng mga date na. The original rules and regulations of the code were issued in various states, 1977 to 1979 through Memorandum Orders by the defunct Ministry of Public Works. So ano na ngayon yung Ministry of Public Works Transportation and Communication ngayon? So, yung DPWH na ito, di ba, Loresto? These rules and regulations were then compiled by the then Ministry of Public Works, now the Department of Public Works and Highways. This compilation was subsequently approved as the implementing rules and regulations IRR of the code. The need to update and amplify various provisions of the existing IRR has become imperative to be realistic and relevant in present time as demanded by technological changes in building design, construction, traffic urbanization, development of mega cities characterized by high-rise buildings, and the relevant requirements of related and other government changes. Thus, the revised implementing rules and regulations as promulgated in issue are promulgated in issue. The 2004 revised IRR of PD 1096 took effect. Please take note of this date, May 1, 2005. The IRR. We hope that this publication will contribute to the uniform and clearer interpretation and understanding of the code of its different of its effective enforcement. So, Peter John Lawan, why is there a need to update and revise the code from time to time? What do you think?
Siguro, sir, dahil sa safety po, sir, may mga bagong safety measures, sir.
Again, please repeat, Peter John.
Sir, po, sir, dahil sa may mga bagong safety measures, sir, kaya ina-update po, sir.
Not only safety measures, not only the building code or the fire code, almost all of the code is changing from time to time. As a matter of fact, other codes, after 5 to 10 years, nag-update, di ba? Nag-update. Just for example, the fire code of the Philippines in 2008, yung ano natin. So, after 10 years, nag-update naman. So, the reason behind is that because of the technological changes, yung introduction ng technology, rapid urbanization, marami talagang pagbabago. So, yung mga classic design noon could not be applicable in this present time, tama? Could not be applicable. Kasi, imagine during that time, just for example, yung mga cellular phone natin, tayo cellular phone, yung mga panahon, di ba? And, sabihin natin yung FDAS natin. So, during those times, puro manual, di ba? Manual. But with the introduction of the technology, halos lahat na automatic. So we have to adapt with the present time. Kaya nagbabago-bago yung code. That's for example sa building. So noong mga panahon siguro ang typhoon intensity inaabot lang ng sabihin natin 250 degrees, yung pinakamalakas na wind velocity. But because of yung mga experience natin in the past or recently, just for example, the Yolanda, no? So, ilan inabot yung wind velocity doon, Gilbert? Ilan? Sa Yolanda? Gilbert? So, the maximum gust limit, I think, of Yolanda is more under 300 kph. 300 kph. So, with that, yung structural reform sa Philippines, nag-update right after na matapos, right after ng Yolanda. So, the maximum wind velocity na ina-assume in the design, so ginawa yun na nasa 330 kph. So, that's the reason why from time to time, nagkakaroon ng revision or update ang ating mga tools. I hope it's clear. I will only discuss the science revisions of the 2004 revised IRR of the National Building Code of the Philippines in relation to the mandate of the BFP. Cannot discuss to you all of the sections in the PD 1096 since mahaba po yun, napakahaba. So I only pick those provisions or sections that is applicable sa trabaho natin sa BFP. The rule number 3, the permit and inspection. So, section 301, building permits. So, we are very familiar with this building permits. No person, firm, or corporation, including any agency or instrumentality of the government, shall construct, alter, repair, convert, use, occupy, move, demolish, and add any building structure or any portion thereof, or cause the same to be done without first obtaining the building permit. Therefore, the building official assigned in the place where the subject building structure is located or to be done. The prescribed application for building permit form is NBC Form B-21 can be used by all applicants. Now, what is needed in building permit? Sa BFP, Evelyn. So, the building official cannot issue a building permit without first securing what? From us.
Sir, good morning. Evelyn, ano po, sir? Soriano Tomo.
Okay, Soriano first and after Tomo. Evelyn, Soriano.
Good morning po.
Apo. So, what is the requirements ng building permit sa BFP?
Sir, magsasubmit tayo, sir. Magsasubmit muna sila ng plans, submission of plans, together with the endorsement from the building official.
Be specific. Anong kailangan ng prerequisite for building permit? Be specific.
Yung kasama po yung mga yung IDs ng mga ng mga architect, ng engineer.
Another Evelyn, indicate Ms. Soriano. What is the prerequisite from the
Sir,
BFP?
good morning.
Before a building official can issue a building permit?
Hello, sir. Ang kailangan, sir, ng building official para makasecure ng building permit yung kliyente na nag-a-apply, dapat, sir, galing sa atin, mag-issue tayo ng fire safety evaluation clearance. Hinahanap kasi yun yung sa copy ng building official. At the same time, chinecheck, dito kasi sa amin, sir, chinecheck din yung mga attachment like yung resibo. Tapos kung may mga other special like sa hotworks or kung meron siyang mga iba pang sir. At the same time, sir, minsan kumukuha din siya nung sa checklist natin as reference, sir, kung ano pa yung mga ibang
Okay, the prerequisite fire safety evaluation clearance, So, with that clearance, the building official can issue a building permit. But even without the fire safety evaluation clearance, if if it lacks the prescribed time, pwede siyang mag-issue ng building permit. Kagaya na na-discuss natin doon sa exam. We will discuss it later para maintindihan ninyo. So, by the way, Edison, Ray Budal, what is the difference between municipal engineer and building official? Can a municipal engineer be a building official, or can a building official be a municipal engineer? Edison,
I think, sir, they are almost the same, sir.
same sila.
Yes, sir.
Marita, can you please explain to them?
Ang building official, sir, pwede maging principal engineer. Then, ang building official, sir, under pan, sir, ang DPWH, tapos, building official, principal engineer, under po, sir, ng engineer, yung mga projects nila, sir, yung mga project ng local government. And, sir.
In most of the municipalities, the municipal engineer is at the same time the building official. But in some instances, they're different. Anay, can you add something? Anay? Anay? Where are you? Anyano? Can you add something? Anong pagkakaiba ng building official at municipal or civil engineer?
So dito kasi, sir, sa Iriga, the same din yung city building official doon din. Siya din yung tapos may separate pa na city architect. So yung city architect under pa din ng building official.
Meron ba? O has another under? You have to understand kung ano ang mga designation na yan. China, what do you think? Wala? I think I have to call your new classmate.
Sir.
Ah?
Ipotrik kari, fire training kari.
Ricky?
Sir, sa building official, sir, pwedeng yung building official is a designation of the municipal or city. Diba yung building official, sir, yung municipal engineer, pwedeng magkaroon sila ng isang head ng building office, yung building official, pwede rin mayroon isang building official and municipal engineer or city. Kasi yung building official is parang department head yung building official, and yung city engineer or municipal engineer, maaaring depende na sir sa ng municipal or city, yung tawag yan yung depende sa nila, hindi ko depende sa designation or or sa level ng nila, city or ito lang sir sir may palawan.
Sige lang, thank you for your idea. Nahanap ko si classmate ko si Baba, andyan ka ba?
Good morning po. Sir, good morning po.
Good morning.
Present. Apo.
What do you think?
Difference po ng building official and municipal engineer. So, ang po, sir, ang municipal engineer po, municipal engineer is under ng building official kasi si building official po, siya po yung nag-i-issue ng building permits, siya yung nag-a-approve if it is go na po for construction or something ganyan. Tapos si municipal engineer po, siya more on nag-check. And basta po, para sa akin, parang mas higher yung position ni building official compared to municipal engineer po. I don't know kung gano'n na sir. Yan lang po. Naka-video po, sir. Naka-video po. Sir, hindi mo ito na po yung ano regarding sa ano po, sa station level. Sorry. Okay na po, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you for your idea. I think Peter Jan has still something to share.
Sir, yung building official, sir, yun yung nag-approve ng mga building permits. Yung municipal city engineer, yung mga project na yun sir ng city, sir. Dito sa amin, sir, kasi sa Tabaco, ang building official, architect, sir, yung municipal engineer, civil engineer talaga, yung mga project ng city.
Then another question before I answer the question.
Hindi, ang building official saan mag-implement ng Republic Act.
Okay. Anyway, another question before I answer the first question. Can a building official be an architect, sabi ni Parinda? Or can a city municipal engineer be an architect or an engineer? What do you think? Aneng?
Ang building official, sir, pwede maging architect, pero yung city engineers, hindi.
Good morning, pwede po mag-answer.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Lodi.
Sir, sa opinion ko po, yung civil engineer can be appointed, pwedeng i-appoint siya. With regards to designation, sir, pwede siyang i-appoint na city municipal engineer, and yung architect, hindi siya pwedeng maging building official.
So, sige na nga, sagutin ko na, no? In some cases, the city or municipal engineer is at the same time the building official. In some other case naman, different sila. The city engineer or the municipal engineer is not holding the position of a building official. A building official can be an architect or a civil engineer. Civil engineer. Now, the city engineer or municipal engineer definitely is an engineer. Or an architect cannot be appointed or hold a position of a municipal or city. Now, ano pagkaiba niya ng city engineer at building official? Magkaiba po ang function niya, no? Magkaiba ang function niya. Because the building official, the authority is, and the appointment niyan, or ang pag-designate sa kanya, is coming from the Department of Public Works and Highways. DPWH, under pa rin niya ng DPWH. Building official, although, ang DPWH may under, may supervision niya dyan, may supervision sa mga building official. But the DPWH, pagdating sa mga city, wala yan. Only the DLDU, the Chief Executive, ang may, ano pa kanya, ang may control pa kanya, ano. So, regarding naman sa trabaho, sabi nga ni Marinda, yung trabaho ng municipal safety engineers, the civil works and other infrastructure works na project ng dito, ng LGU. On the other hand, yung building official, ang function niya only is to implement the building code. Yun lang ang function niya, implement the building code. Other than that, wala. Wala siyang pakialam sa construction na pinapa-implement ng LGU. Unless otherwise, kailangan siya because he has to check whether or not for example, the building na project ng LGU is in conformance with the building code. Pero yung trabaho niya talaga is magkaiba. Magkaiba yung trabaho niya. So, in some instances, sabi ko nga, yung city engineer at building official, isa. In some other places, like Tabaco nga, ang building official niya ay architect. And yung Daraga, ang building official niya ay architect also. Hindi yan basta-basta pwedeng palitan ng palitan ng mayor tawag ito, ng city engineer, although that's under his office, pero yung appointment niya is yung pag-designate sa kanya, DP ang nag-designate siya. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Copy, sir.
Naalala ko, sa isang munisipyo na pinanggalingan before I was retired in that gusto nilang palitan yung the LGU wants to replace the building official. Wants to replace the building official. But walang nagawa yung LGU. Kasi hindi sila That is why the DPWH at any time, pag may nawalang DPWH dyan, pwede silang mag-appoint kung sino ang ilagay nila dyan. Coming from other office, halimbawa sa provincial level, sa provincial level, kukuha din dyan ng isang tao, engineer or architect, yun ang ilalagay niya. Halimbawa, may kaso yung building official, so kailangan ng palitan, di ba? Hindi mayor ang mag-appoint siya. Hindi mayor. Hindi kukuha siya ng tao na pwede. Even, hindi sa loob ng LGU ng engineering office kahit sa labas. Paliwanag, Julie, baba, hindi mo na mag-architect dyan.
Sir, okay po. Sorry. May nagkikiri lang.
Can we move on?
Apo, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Policy of building permit. A building official, prior to the requirement, a building official shall require one set of plans and specifications to the city municipal permission, geoperspective, for each region between with respect to fire safety and control. The city municipal permission shall submit its report on the community to the building official within land 5 working days from date of referral. The city municipal marshal shall submit his report and recommendation to the building official within, take note, 5 working days from date of referral. Failure of the city municipal marshal to act within the period shall mean that land specification conform to all the requirements required for the facility. In case of non-issuance, the consequences or reciprocation of the said requirements by the city permitter. He shall so state in writing the reasons and grounds therefor. Naintindihan? Naintindihan? Mark Anthony?
Yes, sir.
Sir, if you fail to act within 5 working days from date of referral, what will happen? What will happen? Or what might be the consequences? Maricol, take-endorse na sa inyo, refer na sa extension plano, 5 working days na sa inyo dyan, hindi pa kayo nag-a-act. So, anong pwedeng gawin ng building official?
Sir, floor.
Sino yun? Lourdes, at yun?
Yes, sir. Mag-i-issue na po yung building official ng building permit.
But do you think the building official in your experience, are they doing that? Did you experience such situation? Sino ang nakapag-experience niya na sa ito? Catherine? Mariano? Do you think yung building official ginagawa yan? What do you think? You help Catherine, Monico, you help Catherine.
Yes, sir.
Ano pwede gawin ng building official? Ginagawa pa yan ng building official?
Some other municipality, sir, ginagawa po yung pag-i-issue ng without conforming the the city municipal fire marshal, sir.
Nag-iisip sila.
Opo, sir. Siguro, sir, pag natapos na yung grace period na allotted for the issuance of IPSEC, sir. Pag natapos na yung grace period, yun mag-i-issue na sila ng building permit.
It seems like na in their understanding, kapag wala kayong ginawa, yung plano na sinipin nila, will conform doon sa fire code, diba?
Yes, sir.
So, yes, in some other area, lalo na yung building official na kalaban ng fire marshal, we can do that. But most of the city and municipal building official, hindi naman yan basta-basta nila ginagawa rin. Dahil takot din naman sila. Kasi just in case na rebuilding ay ma-implement at nagkaroon ng problema, so, umiiwas din sila sa mga ganun na situation. So, as much as possible, they try to wait the recommendations from the DFP. But, wala tayong magagawa. Kung pag-lapse ng 5 working days, hindi niya maakinan, then the building official will issue a building permit. Wala tayong magagawa niya. So, that is why, in the first question, nakalagay doon kung ano yung remedy, kung ano yung mga dapat natin gawin, just in case that thing happen. So, what's the first thing that you have to do? Sabi doon sa, natin? Classmate, Alan? Anong gagawin mo? Anong gagawin mo kapag nag-issue na building permit yung building officials without first securing fire safety evaluation clearance?
Question yun, sir.
Yung
question yun, sir, lalo kung hindi pa naman tapos yung grace period na binibigay sa atin.
Yeah. But kung but meron tayo for 2 days, so ano yung first na gagawin mo? Diba? Ano na sa exam natin, sa course na natin, una natin sinagot.
Yes, sir.
So, all you have to do, first is you undertake the necessary evaluation of the future class. Ano? O, pag narinig nyo, ano na ang gagawin ninyo? Windows it immediately doon sa pabalik. Diba?
Yes, sir. Balik ka lang sa kanila.
To make sure, para maagapan nyo, kasi kung utuhin ng instruction, diba nasa 40% na, para maagapan nyo, the best thing to do is to inspect the building under construction. Tama? So, just in case, yung plano, hindi mag-conform sa fire safety requirements. So, all you have to do is to make a letter or a notice to the book. So, the city or city municipal building official can take necessary action. So, he might inform he must inform the building contractor or the owner to make necessary adjustments or corrections. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Sir, good morning po, sir. Patrick Cabrera po. Hindi po
Okay. You're free to ask questions.
Sir, kasi paano po yung munisipyo nag-i-issue ng building permit? Kasi may cases pa dito sa Tanduanes, may munisipyo po na hindi pa po nag-i-implement ng issuance of building permit. Ano po kaya pwedeng gawin, sir, dun sa LGU na pwedeng isa-suggest ng BFP? Thank you po, sir.
You mean yung LGU hindi pa nag-i-implement ng mga permit? Wala
hindi pa, sir. May designated municipal engineer po, sir, pero hindi talaga sila, sir, nag-issue ng building permit. Kasi daw, sabi ng municipal engineer, hindi pa po siya kasi designated as building official. Ganun po yung scenario, sir.
In my mind, the best thing that you should do is kung may malaman kayo na under construction, you just inspect it and iyan nyo. I-compile nyo yung list ng mga building under construction, yung details niya, the name, the indication, and you write the LGU na ito yung mga building under construction. So in that way, mayroon kayong just in case mayroon din mga problema, may ginawa kayong approach. Kasi kung magkaroon din ng problema, wala kayong ginawang instruction or tinayo, inspector ninyo, i-implement the fire code. Kung kailangan nyo bang i-require sila ng plano na pagsubit sa atin, kung hindi yan require ng building, huwag nyo lang pakialaman. So long as you implement yung fire safety requirements na sa pagkakali na yan. So that's it. Kusot na kayo dyan. Then, you write the mayor. Ako nung nasa ako sa ibang istasyon, lahat na building under construction, lahat na business establishment na hindi registered, Binilista ko lang, sinulatan ko ang mayor, inform them. This is the list of the building under construction without building permit. This is the list of this establishment without business permit. So in that way, mayroon kayong mahahawakan na document to prove na kayo ay may ginawa. Kung walang gawin ng LGU, well, bahala sila. Basta tayo may ginawa. Adera.
Thank you, sir. Thank you po, sir.
Ano ba yung tanong mo?
Okay po, sir. Sir, masagot, sir. Thank you po, sir.
Any other questions? Certificate of occupancy. A notification to conduct final inspection shall be endorsed by the OBO. What's OBO? Paul, what's OBO? Paul, Homo, what's OBO?
Office of the building official, sir.
Hindi naman tap. Okay. Office of the building official, to the CFM, NSNDC, who shall issue a fire safety inspection certificate within 5 working days if the fire safety requirements have been complied. If after the prescribed period no action is taken by the city municipal fire marshal, the building official may issue a certificate of occupancy with the condition that the fire safety requirements shall be complied with within the prescribed period set forth in the Fire Code of the Philippines. So that time, PD 1185 pa. Kasi nauna yung ma-revise yung PD 1096 sa PD 1185. So is that clear? So pwede pa rin mag-issue ng certificate of occupancy yung Office of the Building Official, Okay? Na, ano? By the waiver na Doren?
Yes, sir.
No.
Yes, sir. Yes, po.
Hindi pala mag-issue ng certificate of occupancy without fire safety certificate or occupancy, yung building official. So, what instance? What instance?
Yes, sir.
What instance?
Yes, sir. As long as, sir, na naka-ano po sila ng requirements and conditions bago po as long as, sir, na na-comply po nila yung lahat kung kailangan.
Provided that the building official will state in the certificate of occupancy the condition that the building owner shall comply the requirements or the particular requirements as set forth sa Fire Code of the Philippines. So may kulatilya. Tama? May kulatilya. Baba. Ano yung kulatilya baba?
Sir?
Ano nga yung kulatilya?
Ano pa yung kulatilya? Hindi ko pa alam, sir. Sorry.
Or condition. And then the building official can issue a fire safety certificate of occupancy even without FSIC or fire safety certificate for occupancy from the PSP. After the last 5 days, after the last 5 working days upon endorsement by the building official. However, there is a condition. And the condition is, sinabi ko na kanina,
with the fire safety requirements shall be complied with in the prescribed period set for the fire prevention.
Yes. Yes. Patay, yun lang. Nababasa. Ang slide ko ba? Tama? Nababasa nyo?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Let's proceed. Wait. Before that, let's see the, andito. So we try to answer this question. The building official requires a set of plans and specifications in your office for reviewing specifications with respect to particular project. After payment of particular fees by the owner or his duly authorized representative, the customer relation recorded the application and endorsed the same without delay to you. Capital ka. As designated plan evaluator, what are you going to do next? Anong gagawin mo as plan evaluator? Aning? Anong gagawin mo? I-endorse mo sa'yo. Wala. Okay. Hindi pinicturan. Wala kayo. The building owner submit to your office a set of classification for review and recommendation with respect to particular requirement. So, number 7, a notification to conduct final inspection was endorsed by the building official to your office. However, if closed, the evaluator will fail to issue a fire inspection certificate for occupancy. The building officials within the prescribed period set forth. Binyas. Number 7. A notification to conduct final inspection was endorsed by the building official to your office. However, due to the workloads as plan evaluator, we failed to issue fire safety inspection certificate for occupancy within 5 working days. The building official then issued a certificate of occupancy with the conditions that the fire safety requirements shall be complied with within the prescribed period set forth in the Code of the Philippines. Is the action of the building official correct? Binyas?
Sir, sa tingin ko po, sir, tama po.
Yes, why?
Kasi po may grace period na binigay na 5 days. Hindi naman action na kaya yung building official po mag-issue na po siya ng certificate of occupancy.
Yes, pwede under the National Building Code, after the prescribed period, no action is taken by the city municipal farmers and the building official by the certificate of occupancy. That will ensure that the particular requirements can be complied with within the prescribed period set forth in the part of the facility. Okay, now let's continue. Doon sa natin. Types of Rule 4, types of construction, Section 401, types of construction. The purpose of the code and its IRR, all the buildings proposed for construction shall be classified according to the following types. Put this in your mind. Kasi mamaya, balikan natin ito. Type 1. Type 1, wood, shall be of wood construction. Structural elements may be of materials permitted by the code. Structural elements. Tungko. Erwin. Sir. Yan ka. Nakabido ka ba? Picture lang kasi nakikita ko tayo. Yes, sir. Nakabido ka. Sige, hanapin kita. What do you think? Ano ang ibig sabihin ng structural elements? Structural elements. Yung mga engineer o ano dyan, wag mo na
Any material permitted by the code, sir.
Please repeat. Medyo hindi po medyo klaro. Ano yan, Erwin? What is structural element?
Any material permitted by the code.
Any material permitted by the code. Napaka-general naman yan. Napaka-general naman ang sagot mo. Yung pang-lieutenant lang. Rona? Rona, where are you?
Sir, si Rona po, nasa meeting po muna sa NHQ.
Ganun ba? Okay.
Yes, sir. May PPMP po siya ngayon.
Okay. Ikaw na lang sumalo ba? Anong ibig sabihin ba ng structural element?
For me, sir, structural elements, yun po, sir, yung ano po, yung foundation, footings, mga ganun po, sir, yung mga nag-compose po, sir, nung para ma-construct yung building. Like wood, cements, or anything po.
Thank you. Kulang pa? Diosa, Engineer Diosa. Ay, electrical pala ito si Diosa, no? Electrical engineer. Anyway, let's call again Peter Paul Marinda, the civil engineer. Can you please explain it further, Paul?
Yes, sir.
Structural element.
Structural element, sir, yung mga beam, columns, footing, then and others. Trusses, sir, trusses.
Trusses, okay. Ganito class, structural element is classified into two, the substructure and the superstructure. Substructure, when you say substructure, ano pag nasa isip niyo pag sinabing substructure?
Material, sir?
Sinabi mo
Ilalim, sir.
Ilalim, ano? Under, so it includes yung footing, the tie beam, or the grate beam, etc. Ano? Including the piles, whatever kind of footing, the foundation, the pile footing, isolated footing. So, yun yung substructure. While the other one is the superstructure. Superstructure includes, number one, columns. Column, alam niyo yung column? Robert, anong column? Baka ang alam mo yung row, tapos column. In a building, anong ibig sabihin ng column, no? Baka sige lang yung tango-tango, hindi alam yung definition ng word. Robert, sugak, anong column?
Yung bigat, sir, ng building.
Yung alin? Yung bigat ng building?
Poste, sir, poste.
Hindi lahat. Alam niyo, kahit mga simpleng words, hindi ko naman kayo matititi, huwag natin pagtawanan yung kasama natin na ano. Kasi, siyempre, we're not familiar with it. Hindi naman tayo engineer. So, columns in layman's term is, poste, Poste. How about you, Briones? Anong ibig sabihin ng girder? Girder. Structural elements include column, girder. Anong girder?
Hindi ko masyado, sir. Ano, sir, ang girdle, sir, eh.
Okay. No, anong girder? Ako tayo sa dictionary ko sa Google. Girder. Sabi dito, girder, a horizontal main structural member, as in a building or bridge that supports vertical load and that consists of a single piece or of more than one piece bounded together. Ang hirap naman ang definition nito. Hindi ko rin maintindihan. So, ano ang girder? Anong girder?
Sir, tie-beam.
Tie-beam.
Yes, sir.
Kasi nagkaiba ng tie-beam sa grade beam. Anong girder? Alan? Classmate? Anong girder?
Steel beam.
Steel beam?
Beam, sir.
Ha?
Beam.
Sino nagtagot? Ikaw ba yan, ano? Paul?
Hello, student.
Ano gusto?
Sir, yun ang support sa beam.
Nag-support sa beam, di ko alam. So, in a simple word, girder is beam, ha? Girder is beam. Beam. Nakita niyo yung ginagawa sa tulay na napakahaba, sa precast, girder, or post-tension, yung parang I, that's called girder. Diba? Sa building gano'n din. Girder or beam ang tawag dyan. Girder or beam. But, in most cases, pag sinabing girder, yung girder na minimin sa structural, sa building, ano, yun yung mga main na beams na nag-hold or nag-support sa mga sub-beam. Yung mga sub-beam, mga secondary beam. Mga secondary beam. Pero yung pinaka-main na support na beam, tinatawag siyang girder. But basically, girder is beam. Paliwanag. So, superstructures includes column, beam, slab. Naintindihan? Yan yung superstructure. Including the trusses. Type 2. Shall be of wood construction where with protective fire-resistant materials is worn out, fire-resistant throughout, except that permanent non-bearing partition. May use fire-retardant treated wood with the frame assembly with 1 hour fire. So type 1, sorry. Number 1, ano ngayon? Upward construction, walang fire resistance, ano? Hindi fire, walang protected by resistant, ano. Then yung type 2 naman, wood. Pero may pero may ano siya, 1 hour fire resistive throughout. What do you think? Ano itong mga type 2 na ito? Yung type 1, pwedeng yung pwede ng coco-lumber dyan, ano? And ordinary good lumbers, ano? Pero itong type 2, what do you think? Anong klase mga materials ito? So sa number 1, ang sabi niya, yung structural elements niya, ibig sabihin dyan, yung poste, yung biga niya, ay lahat made of wood. Made of wood siya. Made of wood. An ordinary wood. Usually, pwedeng masunog agad. Yung number 2 naman, structure, wood pa rin siya, wood construction pa rin siya. Pero, may 1 hour fire resistant. And also, the permanent non-bearing partition may use fire retardant treated wood. So, what do you think ang kasi mga wood kaya ito? Marinda?
Fiber board siguro siya. Fiber.
Yung mga very hardwood, mga very hardwood na hindi basta na nasusunod agad. Kasi may resistance naman, lahat naman na bagay may resistance naman sa apoy, hindi naman yan automatic. So, kailangan niya munang hindi ba nasunog? Hindi naman yan automatic ang susunog. So, ano kaya itong type 2 na ito? Basta, very hardwood siya, no? Sabihin natin, yakal. Kasi, yan naman talaga, hindi naman automatic yan na susunog agad. It takes time para masunog ang napakatigas na kahoy. Mag-ano nyo siya. Mag-evaporate muna, di ba? Yung ano niya. Bago sa titita ng apoy. Mag-discoloration muna siya. Di ba? So ito naman na non-bearing partition. It could be PNG or yung mga tabla-tabla. Provided may pintura siya na fire retardant. So that is type number 2. Type 3, shall be of masonry and wood construction. Structural element may be any of the materials permitted by the code provided that the building shall be 1 hour fire resistive throughout. Exterior walls shall be of non-combustible fire resistive construction. Exterior wall. Ano ibig sabihin ng exterior wall? The wall that cover or that envelope the building. Yung perimeter ng building. Palibot niya. That exterior wall. Dapat non-combustible fire resistive construction. Kung non-combustible, dapat it should be made by what? It should be masonry. Masonry, hollow block, diba? So type 3, combination ng hollow block and wood. Type 4, shall be steel, iron, concrete, or masonry construction and wall. Steeling and permanent partition shall be of incombustible fire resistive construction, except that permanent non-bearing partition of 1 hour fire resistive construction may use fire retardant treated wood within the framing assembly. Ano pinagkaiba ng steel? Ano pinagkaiba ng iron? Ano pinagkaiba ng steel at iron? What do you mean by concrete? Roy. Ano ang pagkakaiba ng steel at saka iron? Karike, research mo ba? Anybody can help Karike? Anong pinagkaiba ng steel at iron? Engineer Marinda, ang pagkakaiba ng steel at iron. Anybody can differentiate steel and iron?
Hi, sir.
Please.
Hi, sir. Hi, sir. Iron, sir, yung mineral, tapos sir, yung steel, yung process, sir.
Yung iron, yung mineral, yung steel na process na.
Yes po, sir.
Ano ba yun?
Yan ang sir idea.
Anybody? Oh, thank you for your idea. Any other idea? Steel and iron.
Sir, iron is an element. Ang steel, sir, comprises na siya ng iron and carbon.
Okay, very good research, very good research. Sino nagsabi?
Sir, Petre Rivero. Petre Rivero, sir.
Petre ano?
Rivero.
Rivero. Gusto ko nag-research kayo. So, basically, alam niyo naman siguro ang periodic table of elements, ano? Periodic table of elements, di ba? Tama? You're familiar of the periodic table of elements sa chemistry, di ba? At naman tayo nagdaan ng chemistry. Unless nag-school book kayo, hindi niya alam. So, iron, sa periodic table of elements, yan. Diba? Iron, type of metal. Ang steel is an alloy. Bakit alloy yung steel? Combination na siya ng two metal o two metal. Nandito yan. Ang iron, isang metal yan. Ang steel, an alloy. Combination siya. Anong ano niya? Sabi dito, ang steel ay converted iron that combines fixed carbon in an amount up to about 1 to 7% as an essential alloying constituent. Valuable and under cast iron. It's $50. Correct yan. Ang kakaiba na. Ano ang ginagamit natin? Ang I-beam, nakikita nyo dyan, I-beam. Made of steel. Ano? Made of steel. Mga I-beam. And then, yung steel kasi, maraming klase siya. Kung familiar kayo sa ang common term niyan, I-beam, but actually I-beam is only one tawag dito, type ng steel, ng structural steel. Ang structural steel kasi pwedeng W planche, H planche, I, S, actually yung I-beam, ang designation niya is S. Kasi, kumbaga, I don't know kung maintindihan nyo, mataas siya, pero yung nasa ibabaw at sa ilalim niya, manipis. So, normally, yung I-beam, ginagamit siya talaga pang beam. Pero yung mga pang-columns, ang ginagamit doon ay H-blank o W blank. But, yung W and H-blank naman, ito be as I-beam. Ano naman ang concrete? Concrete. Jasin, anong concrete? Jasin. Rodel, anong concrete? Anong concrete?
Sir, for me, concrete, sir, yung tigas na...
One solid mass, sir.
One solid mass. Tingin mo nga yan naman. Anong concrete? Nakikita niyo yan, alam nyo, pero hindi mo ma-define. What is the
Particles, sir.
What is it?
Particles of into one solid mass.
Sir, mixture of aggregate and phase.
Anong concrete, aning? Composition of concrete.
Combination of cement, sand, gravel.
That's it. Yanan.
Sir.
Anong concrete?
Concrete, sir. I-research ko muna, sir.
Sir, it is a mixture of gravel, sand, and cement.
Kulang pa.
That's water.
Sir.
And water composed of fine and coarse aggregate banded together with the fluid cement.
Basta matagal concrete.
Okay, basis aggregate. Orlio. Anong aggregate?
Sir. Aggregates. Aggregates po, sir. Yun yung mga grinded na bato, sir, yung maliliit. Yung ginagamit pag nagpapa-slab po, yung hinahalo sa semento. Yun po yun.
Yung concrete, pag sinabi yung concrete, that is the mixture. Sabi nga aggregate. Anong aggregate? Graba.
Graba.
Grabe rin pa. Pero, dapat mayroong water.
Tubig, sir. Tubig.
Oo. Pag i-define mo yung na-apat na yun, you can produce a concrete. Diba? Or you can also produce a concrete without gravel. Sand lang, pwede. Sand, cement, and dito. Sand, cement, and water. So, in making a column or beam, kailangan yung talaga ng gravel. Para may kapitan yung semento. Just imagine a pure cement, you're casting a column with pure cement. Do you think strong yung strong yung mapuproduce yung column or beam with pure cement? Definitely hindi. Kasi magka-crack siya, crack. So you need something na will bind the cement together. Kaya kailangan nyo ng aggregate and sand. Now, what is reinforced concrete? what is reinforced concrete? Ay, by the way, kanina pala, pinag-usapan natin ng steel. Ano? Steel. Steel. Is a rebar. Alam niyo yung rebar? Ay, rebar. Rebar. Alam niyo yung rebar? Tornilyo, alam mo rebar?
Alam ko lang sir yung bar yung
kabilya. Kung rin sabi, kung kabilya, kaya gamit nito plus rebar. Or reinforcement bar. Ano? Reinforcement bar. That's, ano rin, steel din siya. Steel, ano? Steel. Now, what do you mean by reinforced concrete? Reinforced concrete.
Steel, sir. May bakal na, sir. Kasama ng concrete.
Yes. Reinforced concrete meaning the combination of concrete and steel. Ito yan. So you need a rebar or the reinforcement bar. Reinforcement bar, in other words, di kabilya. Di kabilya, ano? So in making a reinforced concrete building, you need kabilya and cement and aggregate, sand, o etc. So maliwanag na. So maliwanag ng steel, iron, concrete, masonry. What's masonry? Artan, anong masonry? Artan, anong masonry? Artan, Alma, anong masonry, Alma? Litera, masonry. Baba, mag-iwan ng picture mo, hain ka na. Baba. Ito na si Baba. Gabi.
Sir, yes po. Present, sir. Dito pa po.
Anong masonry? Anong masonry?
Masonry is yung ano, sir, yung masonry is the building of structure, sir, yung pag-lay ng mga ano po, ng mga semento na tigbaban po siya ng tigbaban, yung sir, yung tigpapatong-patong na yung mga ano, yung mga ang tawag doon, yung structure po, sir, yun para makagawa po, sir, ng wall.
Yung mga hollow blocks.
Apo.
Dax, sa madaling sabi, mga CHD, ano? Concrete hollow block. Yung bricks ba, included din sa masonry? Yung mga bricks?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So, ang type 1 is wood construction. Ang type 2 ay, ano? Wood din, but may fire resistance na, 1 out. Ang type 3 ay, ano? Masonry, wood construction. Ang type 4 is steel, iron, concrete, and masonry. Ang type 5 ay, may 4-hour fire resistant throughout the structural element can be of steel, iron, concrete, or masonry construction. Kung yung type 4 ay may 1-hour fire construction lang siya, yung type 5 ay may 4 hours. So, may intindihan nyo yan mamaya, i-discuss ko yan, kung how can we arrive sa halimbawa reinforced concrete column na may fire resistant rating ng 4 hours. So, malalaman nyo kung anong type yan. Type 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, ulitin ko, type 1, wood construction. type 2 wood construction, but may 1 hour fire resistance rating. Yung type 3 masonry wood construction, ano, may 1 hour fire resistance rating. Type 4 steel, iron, concrete with or masonry, 1 hour fire resistance rating. 5 4 hours resistance rating, steel, iron, concrete or masonry. Now, requirements of type of construction. The following standards are prescribed. Fire resistance requirements. Exterior, bearing, and non-bearing wall. Type 2, ano yung type 2? Type 2 wood, 1 hour fire resistance rating. Type 3 wood in masonry, 1 hour fire resistance rating. Tama? Shall have 1 fire resistive rating. While those of type 4 and 5 shall have 4 hour fire resistive rating. Now, what is exterior bearing wall and what is exterior non-bearing walls? Engineer,
Sir, yung exterior bearing mo, sir, yung slab, sir, yung wall, reinforced combination ng bakal din ng concrete. Then yung non-bearing, sir, yung hollow block, sir.
Hollow block. There is a CHD na ano siya, load bearing. So, basically, yung exterior bearing wall, tama yun sinabi ni, dito. Yung mga buhos, basically yung buhos na wall, bearing wall yun. But mayroon tayong tinatawag na load bearing ng mga masonry. Load bearing masonry. Yun yung matataas yung compressive strength. Anong compressive strength? Yung compressive strength, that is the force na yung isang structural element can withstand. Halimbawa, 1,000 PSI. Yung hollow block, kahit i-applyan niya ng 1,000 PSI, beyond 1,000 PSI, saka pa lang siya magka-crack. So may mga gano'n na safety na nakadesign talaga na matataas yung compressive strength niya. That's called bearing wall. Load bearing masonry safety. Pero dito sa atin kasi, alam nyo, dito sa atin, sa inyo sa Pilipinas, kasi sa amin sa Japan, ang mga CHB, ang mga building na 2-story sa amin sa Japan, kahit walang poste, na-reinforce concrete, nakakatayo. Kasi ang ginagamit namin sa Japan ay mga load-bearing na CHB. Pero dito sa atin, mostly, backyard made ang mga CHB natin. Tama? Backyard made or manufactured. Ano ibig sabihin ng backyard manufactured? Hindi sa factory, hindi sa planta. Makaisip si Maricor na magnegosyo ng hollow block, mayroon siyang space doon sa bahay niya, sa likod ng bahay niya, bumili siya ng gamit, naggawa siya ng tao, so doon mismo sa backyard ni Maricor, naggawa siya ng hollow block, pinupuk-puk-puk lang. So yung ginawa ni Maricor na hollow block ngayon, ano yun? Non-bearing yun, non-bearing. Ibig sabihin, mababa pa lang ang compressive strength na in-apply mo dyan, na pressure, basag na siya. Kaya kahit mahulog lang, hindi naman masyadong mataas, basag na babasag. Ano yung mga machine build? Yung mga machine build naman, it could be bearing or non-bearing, depende sa timplada. Pero dito sa atin, di pa rin nakukonforme ng mga machine build na safety natin to considered as bearing wall. Unless otherwise, ipatest ko yan, tingnan ko kung gaano yan katigas para ma-determine ko kung ilan ang compressive strength yan. So I can decide that as bearing wall. Maliwanag, kung ano yung bearing at non-bearing wall, maliwanag na po. So, sa exterior pala, sa exterior wall, ng type 2 at type 3
construction na may fire resistance rating, dapat, ano, ang exterior wall ng type 2 and type 3 shall be, ano, 1 hour fire resistance rating, yung walls niya, kalibot. Yung type 4 naman, at type 5, ano yung type 4? Type 4, Villosa. Type 4 and type 5. Anong material? Villosa.
Steel.
Villosa.
Yes, sir. Type 4. Sir.
Type 4 and type 5.
Hello, sir.
Wait.
Hello, sir.
About
Type of construction, steel, iron, and concrete.
Well as masonry, tama. But ang fire resistance rating niya ay,
Yes, sir.
ano, for type 4, 1 hour. For type 5, 4 hours. Tama. Pero, sa exterior wall, for type 4 and type 5, dapat ang resistance rating niya ay 4 hours. So mamaya, i-discuss natin itong resistance rating. 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour resistance rating. No? I-discuss natin yan. Letter B, exterior bearing wall. Yes. May question po?
Sir,
Sino pang may question?
Carter Obispo, sir.
Opo, please.
May yung retaining wall, sir, saan siya, sir, na i-upload, sir, na retaining wall, sir?
Discuss ko what is a retaining wall. Retaining wall. From the word retaining, it will hold something na halimbawa lupa, ano pa, anything na ano, kaya tinatawag siyang retaining wall kasi nakadesign siya. Ang retaining wall actually hindi siya part ng building. Hindi siya part ng building. Ang retaining wall, ginagawa siya, halimbawa, nag-touch kayo, halimbawa, may sloping yung area. Kinat nyo, ibig sabihin, palintak sa Bicol o sa English, ay sa Tagalog. Parinda, anong cut niya? Sloping yung area. Pakilig. Hanapin, ano mo siya? Tigkabit mo sa portion. So, natala, sa gilid. Medyo halangkaw na, mga 3 meters na, 3 meters. To prevent the soil from eroding, from going to your proposed structure na pinupropose mo tayo, kailangan mo ngayon na mag-construct ng wall. That wall is called retaining wall. Diba? So, ang purpose niya is ma-prevent yung soil na mag-erode. So, subject siya sa pressure. Kung ito yung retaining wall mo, ito yung soil mo, so, may pressure din dyan. So, yung wall ngayon na retaining wall mo, yung pressure na yun. So, that's called retaining wall. Now, there's another kind of wall. Yung tinatawag na yung shear wall. Yung shear wall naman, nasa building yan, sa building. Ano yung shear wall? Yung buhos, yung mga buhos. Halimbawa, ano pa yung buhos, sa wall mo ay 200 or 80 inches. That's considered as shear wall. Ano naman ang purpose ng shear wall? Kailangan ba natin mag-forward? Sige. I hope maintindihan nyo. So, ang purpose ng shear wall is for seismic or earthquake. Earthquake. Imagine, yung building mo, di ba, gumagawa tayo ng building, parang mga stick-stick lang siya, yung column, building, parang mga stick-stick lang siya, no? Parang stick-stick. So, ang ginagawa natin, usually, para mag-cover yung building natin, ang ginagamit natin pag-ibig ay, alublock. Now, para mas matibay yung building natin, gumagamit tayo ng konkreto, reinforced concrete, makakapal. So, ang purpose ng concrete na yun is makatulong siya. Kailangan talaga natin ng board na rin, ha? Ito na. Clean masyado. Kaya kailangan natin na illustration. Share dito. Last, nakikita nyo? Last?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Diba, ito yung video ko. Ito yung opening yung ground floor. So, yung ground floor. Itong araw na ito, force, earthquake, sabihin natin sa inyo, earthquake force. F na lang. F. Kung hollow block, hindi yan i-consider na hello? Aneng?
Sir, narinig ka na, sir.
Narinig na?
Opo, sir.
Narinig ba yung explanation ko kanina?
Hindi, sir. Naputol ka kanina po.
Ano ba? Ano yung narinig nyo? Nakikita nyo yan?
Yes, sir.
Nakikita nyo? So yan malaki, yan yung gusali Kung wala yung wall na shear wall, magde-deflect ngayon yung building. Pag may earthquake, ang deflection niya malaki. Ngayon, pag linagyan nyo yan ng solid na konkreto, instead na CHB, lalakas ngayon yung building mo. So, titibay siya against earthquake. Yung sa kabila naman, nakita nyo yan na, na parang may footing at columns, that's the retaining wall. So, ang purpose niya is to ma-hold yung lupa. Naintindihan? Anyway, proceed tayo sa lecture natin. Balik tayo. Any other question?
May question pa? Wala na. Requirements of type of construction. Okay, interior walls. Letter B, interior bearing walls, permanent partition, floors, and roofs of type 3, type 4, type 5. Construction shall have 1 hour fire resistive rating. Yung mga interior bearing walls ha, interior bearing and permanent partitions. Floors of type 2, type 3, type 4 shall have 1 hour fire resistance rating, while those of type 5 shall have 3 hour fire resistive rating. For the bearing interior bearing walls and permanent partitions. Dapat, and including floors and roofs, yung type 2, type 3, and type 4 construction. Dapat may 1 hour fire resistive rating. And yung type 5, 3 hours. Naintindihan? Letter D, structural frames. Structural frames. Ano yung structural frames? Structural frames includes the columns, the beams, the slab. Type 2 and type 3 construction shall have 1 hour fire resistive rating, while those type 4 shall have 2 hours rating, and those type 5, 3 hours fire resistive rating. Exterior door and window shall have 1 hour fire resistive rating of all times. Anong fire resistive rating? Kanina pa natin pinag-uusapan ano? Anong fire resistive rating? Nakataw pala ang camera ko. Kailan? Anong fire resistive rating? Fire resistive rating means the degree to which a material can withstand fire as determined by generally recognized accepted testing method. Yun ang fire resistive rating. The degree to which a material can withstand fire. Ano naman yung fire resistive time period rating? Fire resistive time period rating is the length of time a material can withstand being burned, which may be 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, etc. Fire resistive standards. All materials of construction and type of materials in assemblies or combination thereof shall conform to the following fire resistive rating. Ito na. Dati, hindi ito included sa fire code. Sa bagong revise ng fire code, nakasama na siya. Nasa likod, di ba? Nasa table siya. Di ba, Marinda? Marinda?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dati wala yun sa fire code. Nasa building code yan. Nasa building code. So, sabi dyan, for solid slab, anong kasi reinforced concrete? Ang average cover to reinforcement kung 1 hour is 15 millimeters. Kung 2 hours, 20 millimeters. Ano? Kung 4 hours, 25 millimeters. But, ang overall depth ng slab ay for 1 hour, 100, 2 hours, 125, 3 hours, 150, and 4 hours, 150. Ang ibig sabihin niyan, class? Ang ibig sabihin niyan? Alam niyo yung slab, di ba? I know you're very familiar with slab. Tama? Pag sinabi mo 100 mm, anong ibig sabihin niyan? Yung kapal ng slab ay 100 mm or 4 inches. Tama? Naintindihan? 4 inches yung slab. Now, yung 100 mm or yung 4 inches na slab, yan ay may resistance rating na 1 hour. Provided dapat, yung reinforcement niya, yung bakal niya, may cover na 15 mm. Ibig sabihin niyan, kung ito yung kapal ng slab nyo, yung reinforcement nyo class ay dapat from the top of the slab hanggang doon sa position ng rebars nyo, dapat at least 15 mm as well as doon sa bottom.
dapat yung rebar nyo hindi nakadikit sa pinakataas, hindi rin nakadikit sa pinakababa. Dapat ang clearance ng slab mo sa top and bottom ng slab ay for 1 hour 15 mm, for 2 hours 20 mm, for 3 hours 20 mm, for 4 hours 25 mm. Naintindihan? Naintindihan po. Naintindihan. Usually, sa mga bahay, sa bahay natin, ang thickness ng slab natin ay ilan? 4 lang, diba? 4 or 4 inches or 100 mm. Compliant pa siya, compliant, yun natin yun natin. Sa flooring, floors tayo, floors. Interior bearing walls, permanent partition floors of type 2, 3, and 4 shall have 1 hour fire resistant rating, while those of type 5 shall have 3 hours fire resistance rating. So, ang reinforced concrete na bahay natin, kung konkreto yung bahay natin, naka-slab tayo, yung floors natin ay slab. So, kung ginamitan natin ng 100 mm, ibig sabihin, compliant tayo in terms of fire type of construction. Kasi yung resistance niya, fire resistance niya ay 1 hour. Naintindihan po? Naintindihan? Concrete slab, average, solid pre-stress concrete slab. Ano ibig sabihin nito? Pre-stress. Actually, this is a very technical word. Yung mga engineers ang nakakaintindi nito, yung pre-stress. Ibig sabihin yan, ang pre-stress, yung tendon niya, instead of using a rebar or reinforcement bar or kabilya, ang ginagamit niya ay tendons. Ano itong tendons na ito? Yung tendons na yan, strand yan ng, nakita niyo yung ginagamit sa tulay, sa mga tulay. Sa tulay, parang may mga maliliit siyang tendons, tapos, tawag dito, para ang tendons, example, may tie wire ka. Alam mo yung tie wire? Alam mo yung tie wire?
Yes, sir.
Ano yung tie wire? Anong tie wire yan sa Tagalog? Sa Bicol?
Alambre.
Okay. Yan ang tendons yan. Garo yan alambre. Pero ang tensile strength yan, ibig sabihin ng tensile strength, kahit i-pull mo yan ang i-pull, you take much force para mag-yield siya. Ano mag-yield? Mag-elongate siya, mag-elongate. So imagine, ang alambre, one single strand yan ng tendon. Pero ang alambre, hindi naman tendon. Alam niyo naman yan kasi napaka-elastic ng the tensile strength ng alambre, napakababa. Kahit kung gamitan mo siya ng kamay mo, i-pull mo siya, mag-yield na siya. But the tendon, napakataas ng yield strength niya, hindi mo yung basta-basta mapupull. So, yan ang tendon. Usually, kumukuha ka ng mga 10 alambre, tapos i-twist mo siya sa dulo, then sa dulo din. So, yun ang parang nakakita na kayo ng drop wire. Yung drop wire pag mayroon siyang parang wire na open na yun ang sa kanya, nag-hold nung itim. Parang ganun yung tendon. Parang ganun. So, ibig sabihin nun, yung tendon na yun, kaya siya pre-stress kasi pinul na siya, tapos dinagay siya sa slab. Paglagay sa slab, release. Pag release mo yan, ang tendency niyan is mag-curve siya. Mag-curve. So, yung slab na yun, ginagamit din sa mga slab na napakahaba, sobrang haba. Sobrang habang slab na hindi kaya ng reinforcement par lang. Kaya ang ginagamit ay pre-stress tendon. pinul na muna siya, pag-pull sa kanya, kinas, pagkakas sa kanya, bitawan, so, ang tendency niya ay
Hello? Hello?
Okay, sir. Copy, sir.
Na pa ako?
Yes, sir. Copy.
Kaya, so ba, nagpapara-explain pa lang sa bago na pagkaroon nag-hang. Anyway, tapos na tayo sa pre-stress, ano? Anyway, very technical kasi yan na mga words na yan. Mga engineers na nakakaintindi. Anyway, yung tendons, na-explain ko na sa inyo kanina, no? Then partition, solid concrete, solid masonry, hollow unit masonry. So ano yung solid concrete? Yung solid concrete, usually ginagamit natin dyan, solid reinforced concrete. Kasi kung solid concrete lang siya, yung solid concrete, wala siyang reinforcement, so ang tendency niya, walang nag-hold sa konkreto, so the tendency ka na konkreto is mag-break easily kasi yung concrete wala siyang tensile characteristic or meron din pero napakababa. Anong ibig sabihin ng tensile characteristic? Tensile strength. Yung tensile, di ba? Yung material na kaya hindi agad-agad nag-break. Nag-yield muna siya, ibig sabihin nag-deflect muna siya bago siya mag-break. Ang solid concrete, kung concrete lang talaga yan, kung concrete, so pag in-applyan mo yan ng pressure sa taas o sa side, pag umabot siya ng sabihin natin 3,000 PSI, magka-crack na yan, magka-crack. But if you put reinforcement, so it will become reinforced concrete. So may bakal na sa loob. So yun na yung tawag dito, yun na yung material na magpapatibay doon sa concrete na hindi siya basta-basta mag-break. So that is why ang ginagamit na method sa atin dito, usually ang materials na ginagamit natin ay combination ng steel and concrete. Yung steel kasi mataas yung tensile strength niya, ibig sabihin kahit napakataas ng force niya, hindi siya basta-basta magbibigay, mag-deflect until such time na maabot na yung design na steel allowable yield strength niya. However, yung concrete naman, napakababa ng tensile strength niya. Halos wala siyang tensile strength. Yung concrete naman ay napakatibay sa compression. Ano yung compression? Kung yan basta-basta mati-break.
Sir, may refleno, wala po kayo. Wala kayo sir kuryente dito sa Legazpi at sa Albay. Kaya mahina yung signal ni sir.
Sorry, nagkakaroon ako ng technical problem. Siguro sa connection ng internet ko. Kanina pa nga ito, before tayo mag-start kanina, dapat alas 9 naka-start na tayo. Troubleshoot ko muna yung internet connection dito. Minsan yung provider, minsan yung connection ko naman. So, it's already 12 now. So, we will continue our lesson this afternoon at anong gusto niyo oras? Today?
Yes, sir. Sir? 1:30, sir. Okay lang po, sir.
Oras tayo.
1:30 po. Okay lang po, sir. Opo.
Kami din po, sir. Wala.
Sir, mga classmate, okay na po ba yung 1:30 tayo mamaya?
Yes, ma'am. Copy, ma'am. 130 po.
Okay, let's continue at 1:30. Let's have a break first. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Salamat po, sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome po, sir.
Salamat, sir.
Good morning, good afternoon, class. Good afternoon. Ano ang nakikita niyo sa screen niyo?
Yung questionnaire, sir.
Sir.
Okay. Anyway, please answer this question. Allow me to read this. A certain engineer went to your office and told you that the plan they have submitted for review or fire safety requirement has conformed to the National Building Code of the Philippines, particularly installation of fire protection system. As plan evaluator, what is the best answer to your client? Letter A, approval of fire safety requirement is vested upon the BAP under PD 1185. Approval of fire safety requirement is vested upon AP under PD 1096. Under RA 9514, approval of fire extinguishing system, building automatic, sprinkler system, and terrestrial pipe automatic, etc. Shall meet the approval of fire department to the installation and location and shall be subject to such periodic tests as it may require. Under PD 1185, approval. Okay. So what do you think is your best answer to your client?
Letter C, sir.
Letter C. Letter C. Now, another example. An engineer or an architect goes to your office and contested the output of your plan evaluation and said that the plan is in conformance with the National Building Code of the Philippines in terms of, say, fire protection and SIP system. So, what do you think will be the best answer to your client? Pumunta sa opisina nyo, ano nakakabilin po? Kasi yung, ang building code po also requires fire protection system. And the building code also has provisions on the SIP, means of egress, fire system rating. Now, the two laws, the two codes may inconsistency. Now, the plan is compliant under the building code. On the other hand, it's not compliant under the fire code. So, which code shall prevail? No? Which is the applicable code? What do you think, Yanda?
Sorry, sir.
What do you think is the best answer to your client? Hinahanap lang akong question. So, anong sasagot niyo sa client niyo, Marenda?
Sir, they must comply sir sa anong fire code natin sir because mas deep yung fire code natin sir na lumabas. Makakomply sila sir sa fire code sir.
Fire code, why?
Mas yun sir, mas stringent yung fire code then late siya, mas late na siya lumabas sir.
Was the screen get in fire code or it can be moved back? Any other answer? Any other answer?
Fire code po.
Fire code, yes, it's true. Fire code, but why?
Kasi yung repealing clause sir ng fire code.
Sir, sir. 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 According to the law, sir, the Park of the Philippines is more bearing than the PG 1096 or the building code, sir.
Come again.
Sir, according to the law, sir,
Anyway, check number 12, when did the 2045 IRR of the 1997 NBC go for take effect or yes, take effect. 2000,
sir.
May 1, 2005.
2005.
May 1, 2005.
So when did the latest or the revised IRR of the fire code take effect? Anong date nga?
October 2019, sir.
October 2019. Basically, because of the repealing clause, because of the repealing clause, any laws or codes inconsistent doon sa latest code. Yung latest code ang
FM mode. Bluetooth mode.
ano yun? Naintindihan ko. Naintindihan. Sabi natin yung repealing clause ng fire code. Anyway, let's continue sa ano natin. Screen. Go back to our lecture. So, we start sa sa partition, right? Ludi, ano ang nakikita mo sa screen mo? Ludi?
Sir, yung presentation, assembly materials and minimum technique of fire resistance.
We start dyan sa partition So, as I explained earlier, this morning, yung solid, the difference between solid concrete, solid masonry, and hollow masonry, Yung solid concrete, I already discussed this. Ano yung solid masonry? What do you think is a solid masonry? So, importante po ito because in conducting inspection, so dapat alam niyo yung mga fire resistance rating ng every material, particularly sa hallway, sa firewall. Kailangan yung mga familiar din sa mga terminology dito. What do you think is solid masonry? Carla? Paul?
Yung bricks, sir. Sample bricks, sir. Brick masonry.
Bricks, yeah. Bricks. Ito naman ang hollow unit masonry. Ano naman ito? Hollow unit masonry.
hollow unit masonry. So itong hollow unit masonry, itong hollow block, concrete hollow block, hollow ba yun? Hollow ang yung tapos unit fill. And filling is called mortar. So protection for metal structure members. So metal is not very good in terms of sa resistance niya sa heat. Just remember yung 911 attack, the building is made of structural steel because of the very high temperature. Stable yung internet connection mo. Anyway, the 911, the World Trade Center is made of structural steel. So, because of the terrorist attack using an airplane, nasunog yung World Trade Center. Because of the extreme heat, nag-melt yung structural steel. So, the melting point of structural steel is lower than the concrete. Concrete. Kasi yung concrete talaga, hindi talaga siya na nag-melt. So, because of its characteristics, this is a very good material to use to cover a structural steel. So, that is why ito yung ginagamit natin. Besides it's cheaper, Besides it's cheaper. And yung mga metal structures kasi, this is very good in earthquake. Kasi kung gumagalaw siya, but since the yield strength of steel is very high, maganda siya gamitin for higher building kasi lightweight na at the same time, mataas ang yield strength niya. Hindi siya basta bibitak. Mag-yield lang siya. However, the concrete naman, like kung tawag dito, mababa ang yield strength nito. So that's why it needs reinforcement bar, yung rebar, para ma-compensate yung requirements ng yield. Protection, masonry, sometimes yung steel structure, they also use masonry to cover the steel structure. Yung kinakladding siya, kinakladding. Alam niyo yung cladding? Wrap around, yung steel structure, wrap around the masonry. So, that's the protection. May mga may mga minimum thickness yung concrete cover to rebar to determine ilang hours ang distance rating. Kasi kapag hindi na-cover properly ang steel, rebar, reinforcement bar, yung tabilya, hindi yan properly cover ng concrete, pag nasunog yan, anong mangyayari? Apektado agad yung maapektahan yung structure, hihina yung structural integrity, hihina yung structure. So, sa bottom line, pag humina yung structure, kukulapse yung structure. That's why, kailangan properly covered siya ng concrete. So, exterior wall, solid concrete, 75 mm, 1 hour, 2 hours, 125 mm, 2 hours, 150 mm, or 6 inches, 3 hours, 180 mm, or 7 inches, 4 hours. For solid masonry, 200 mm, 1 hour. So, plus, my question is, ang firewall, kasi firewall is considered as a exterior wall, sabihin natin. Sa firewall,
what do you think is the best material to use? And gano'n siya kakapal sa firewall? Carlos, sa firewall, Carlos, Navales.
Sir. Sa firewall, sir, is mga 4 inches, sir, 4 inches.
4 inches na?
Ano, sir, yung kapal, sir, ng padero, yung firewall, sir.
Ano lang, konkreto, konkret, ano? Ganun dapat ito kapal ng firewall.
Sir, yung hollow block, sir, kasi sir, ang standard natin, sir, sa hollow block is 4 inch man lang, sir, ang lapad, ang kapal niya, sir.
So, 4 inches, Andres? 5 inches, what do you think?
Yung, sir, yung kapal ng hollow block, sir.
Ay. Sorry class, medyo wala din dito. Anyway, again, so, you mean, ano ba yun, Navales? The best material to use for a firewall is hollow blocks for
No, sir. Buhos, concrete, sir. Solid concrete, sir.
Solid concrete.
Yes, sir.
Solid concrete, how thick should be the solid concrete?
180.
180, sir, 180.
Why 180?
Sa 180, sir, is yung the sir, the fire resistance, sir.
Because for ours,
yes, sir.
So take note class, take note that a firewall should be 4 hours, should have a 4 hours fire resistance per day. Understood? So the best material to use for a firewall is solid concrete with a thickness of 180 mm of 70 inches. So, is hollow block allowed to be used as firewall? Michael Ray? Is solid masonry or hollow block allowed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Allowed. So, in what condition?
Provided, sir, si makapal yung pag-plaster.
Provided makapal yung plaster. How thick is the plaster? How thick is the masonry?
Preferably, sir, 200 millimeter. 200 millimeter, sir.
200 millimeter plus.
Halo ma.
8 inches hollow block. Do we have? Solid masonry pala yan, solid masonry or grade. Do we have? Or kung CHP, concrete na hollow block. Solid masonry grade. Solid masonry, kapag pinilak pa namin na rin siya, consider grade as solid now. Anyway, do we have 8 inches commercial use hollow block?
in the Philippines?
6 inches, sir.
Do we have? Tadya siguro, patadya, ano? Patadya. Because hindi ko na sa luluto sa block locally, ano? Oriented pag-test and might be 8 inches around block 4 or around the remote. Kunti, block to block, block. So the best material to use is to concrete 7 inches, or you can have it 6 inches, provided that you i-plaster mo siya, because the plaster is connected also, para pala. So 6 inches, okay, or 150 inches. Naintindihan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. For color, or cases 4. Reinforced concrete. 1 hour pala, kung ang color mo ay 200 by 200, or ilan yan, inches, 8 inches by 8 inches, yung color mo. So, ang distance rating lang niya ay 1 hour. 300 by 300, 2 hours. Kung 400, 3 hours. Kung 450 by 450, 2 hours. So, the structural element, ilan pa yung report natin, structural element? Na ilang hours ba para sa structural element? Kalimutan na. Kalimutan natin na. Structural frames, type 2, 3, 4, 1 hour. 1, 2, 3, 1 hour, while type 4 and 5, 2 hours. So, ano ang minimum na dapat na gamitin natin? 2 hours. 2 hours. At least 300 by 300, ano? At least 300 by 300. Naintindihan po, balikan po ha. Sabi dito, structural frame of type 2, type 3 construction will have 1 hour prior to breaking. Ano yan? Type 2 yan, wood, masonry. Ang type 3 ay wood na may prior to breaking. Ang type 3 is wood and masonry, 1 hour prior to breaking. Yung number 4, concrete, steel. Ang number 5, ganun din, concrete, steel, masonry. Pero dapat, ang structural frames niya ay should have 2 hours prior to this breaking. So, going back here, if you will use reinforced concrete, yung minimum size of column dapat, yung gamitin natin ay ano? Ano dapat? Alan?
Sir.
Anong size ang pinaka-minimum na column dapat?
300, sir.
Requirement?
300 millimeters, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Kasi for frame, ang requirements ay 2 hours by breaking, for type 4 and type 5.
Yes, sir.
For 2 hours, ang gamitin natin, minimum ay 300. Kung gumamit ako ng 400, is that okay? Is that okay if I use 400?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Kung ang minimum na 4 hours na, 3 hours yan, mas better. Understood? So I hope na kuha na kung ano ang significance ng type of dito, type of material, type 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and ano ang relation noon dito sa dinidiscuss natin ng part sa rating. So, kung sa fire code may occupancy classification, so sa building code, meron din, ano? So, section 701, there are 10 groups of occupancy. Buildings proposed for construction shall be identified according to their use or character of occupancy. It shall be classified as Group A residential dwelling. Group A. Ano ang residential dwelling? What is a residential dwelling? Rohen? Asan si Rohen? Nagtatag si Rohen? Goyon, Perpini, Rogel, Goyon. Wala. Wala si Perpini Goyon. Perpini Goyon. Wala. Think like Perpini Goyon. Perpini Goyon. Residential dwelling.
Sir, yung mga bahay, sir, na itinap tayo. Mga kaya ng mga singit.
Ano ang single detached family dwelling? Ano ang double family dwelling? Ano pag sinabi mo detached?
Yung isa lang, sir. Isa lang unit lang, sir. Nag-double, sir. Yung duplex, sir.
Dalawa. Bakit? How about yung row house? Ano yun? Row house?
Tabi-tabi, sir. Mga bahay.
Tabi-tabi. So, it will fall under group B, ano? Yung group 18 din yung family dwelling. Pero pag marami siya, apartment, ang gano'n po siya. So, group B, residential, hotel, and apartment. Paano yung mga motel? Saan papasok?
Kasama yung sa group B, sir.
Group B, sir. Group B.
Group B po, sir. Group B.
Group B, educational registration. Group B, educational. So, group B, business and mercantile. Business and mercantile. So, binasi pa rin yung business and mercantile. As one, magnified code is a separate type of property right. This is separate type of property, but under the building code, this is classified as one type under Group A, business and mercantile. Group F, industrial, energy, storage, Manasardo, center H, assembly of equipment load less than 1,000. Assembly of equipment load more than 1,000, Group I. Group J, accessory. Agricultural structure, division 2, private garage, carport, fence, or the time, tank, pool, tower. Division 3, stage platform, indoor tennis, badminton, or basketball court. Actually, this division 3 under the comparator, under the stage to under the aquarium, structure, bank pada tubuh. Jadi stage, platform, tennis, badminton, court. Of course, lagi di under stage platform, pero kung may mga picture, under ka, parang eliminate mo ang mga picture. So these are the type of occupancy under the building code. So may pagkakaiba sa stat, may pagkakaiba sa fire code. Anyway, this one is going to memorize all of this because we are using fire code. At least we have an idea what is in the building code. There is and occupant clause. So, as I said a while ago, there are provisions sa fire code ng state or municipalities ng occupant law doon sa building ko, meron din po. Meron din. So, titingnan natin ang pagkakaiba. The construction of stairs and gates are performed to the occupant law department within teachers. Termination of occupant law. The occupant law terminated by any building or procedure of intermate the divided floor area assigned to that use by the unit area allowed to the occupant law as well as it for later. I will show you the same on the 12 part. So the same applications of the core as a so we compute for the core area and we divide it by the occupant law factor. Parehas. With the unit area per occupant for a particular divided under table 12.1, the building official shall determine the same based on the unit area for occupant the most early written ball. So, hindi pa determine kung anong klase ng occupant yung isang area. So, titingnan ng dito kung probably pwede ka makapag-classify. But you know, sa akin, paano? Halimbawa, hindi natin ma-identify yung type occupant. Meron tayo, di ba? Meron tayo. Yung occupant load of any area in this state shall be determined by the number of fixed. So, I determine the fixed instead area shall be determined the occupant load. So, this thing sa fire code. Pag may fixed, bibilang natin yung fixed. Pag walang fixed, halimbawa yung teacher, walang fixed, diba? You cannot determine the number of occupants. Halimbawa, military grandstand, yung teacher. How do you determine the occupant of the teacher? So, as I said during my lecture last time, ang pag-determine dyan is, you assume yung isang tao can occupy yung kumukuha mo na siya, yung kaya niyang may occupy. What I mean is, if the length of the teacher, yung lang if the length is 10 meters, so to compute for the occupant load, or for the person that can sit on that particular tent, so all you have to do is to, 10 meters, or 10,000 millimeters, you have to divide 60. In factor of 600 millimeters. So, for a 10 meter na bench, kasi hindi mo talaga na makaisakto. Hindi mo makaisakto. So, ang sagot ay 16 to 66 or 16 person. So, ganyan po ang pag-determine kung walang 60. Naintindihan. O, halimbawa Bulangan. Sa Bulangan, may naglaog na itong piling internet sa Bulangan. Paano mo ma-determine ang occupant load sa Bulangan? Naintindihan. Paano may compute? Sabihin natin, existing na Bulangan. Existing na. Bakit yung Bulangan, lahat ba ng Bulangan ay existing? Yung mga siguro, yung mga world class na Bulangan o yung mga class A na Bulangan, Catholic Arena. Kasi yung mga Catholic Arena natin dito, sa probinsya, wala naman siya. Ano ba siya? Simento lang o tabla? Diba? So, determine daw occupant load. So, we have to is to measure the length of the bench, palibot, measure mo, divided by 60. So, each bench, iba-iba ang ano niya, iba-ibang bench na, kasi ito papalit yan when it goes down, siyempre papalit niya papalit. Anyway, so to determine the occupant or more or less, you have to divide by 50. Naintindihan, Rodel, kanina si Rodel, nag-click na siya, wala?
Sorry, sir.
May kulangan ba sa inyo, Rodel? May kulangan?
Sir, meron sir. Pero malayo sir.
Lalo, pag naging pinagpilitan, mag-interview ang kulangan.
Sa kuwan sir, sa upuan sir, sa upuan.
Upuan, kung walang upuan niya, kung walang tikit.
Doon sa bench, sir, sa bench.
Kaya nga, yung bench. Paano kung mag-interview ng kapasang ng bench? Alam nyo kasi, ang operator na cockpit, sasabihin niya, tanongin niyo, ilan ang capacity ng sir? Sabihin niya, ay, mga 1,000 o 1,000 ang capacity ng trabaho. Do you think, pag sinabi mo 1,000, i-adapt mo agad yung sinabi na operator 1,000 ang capacity. Hindi na talaga allowed sa arena na yan, sa kapatid arena na yan. Kasi more than that, hindi na dapat magpapasok. Why? Dahil sa required number of seats and the required seats, diba? You finish the width of the seat, the number of the seats, depending on the number of occupants. That is why it's important na malaman mo kung ilan ba talaga ang maximum occupant ng isang assembly. Kasi kung more than 50% yan, kailangan dapat na nakalagay sa pagkutin yan, this particular, accommodate ilang tao. Aliwanag, kailangan natin ma-identify yung occupant to determine the number of seats, the required number of seats, and to determine the required number of what? The required width of the door, the required width of the hallway. Na kung walang fixes, kung nasabi kita ninyo, walang fixes, theater type, you cannot use the floor area divided by the occupant door factor. You cannot use that. Kung may fixes, well, mapabilis, pero walang fixes, mahirap, diba? So, kaya nga sabi sa inyo, you need to accommodate pa naman. Yung bleacher niya, yung bench niya, divided by 60, the rest of the bench divided by 60, 60 number of occupants. Ano makatawag? By 60, sabi ko nga kanina, siguro sabihin ko, maliit at maliit. Siguro kaya ko, para maging komportable ako, 40 ata o 60 lang, kaya hindi, pero may mga kasama tayo ko, yung build ng katawan, kasi yung tatlo dito, hanggang sa may shoulder, more than 60, ano ba natin? So, 60 sa average. Ano ba na? The occupant of the building in the building or procedure of a building place above that's specified in table 13.1 mamaya explain na lang ito if necessary seats are provided. And determining the occupant load, all portions of the building shall be presumed to be occupied at the same time. Exception, accessory areas, which ordinarily are only used by persons who occupy the main area. Areas of occupancy shall be provided with the seats as though they were completely occupied. However, in computing the maximum allowable occupant load for a floor building, the occupant load of the accessory area can be disregarded. Yung mga accessory areas na ito, yung mga accessory areas, may idea, accessory area. Ano ito?
Yung may sir table, mga table, chairs.
Halimbawa sa restaurant, yung mga accessory areas dyan, ER, di ba? ER, accessory area, yung mga maliliit na hindi turuan ng gamit, hindi naman yan turuan area. Mga accessory area, mga accessory area, yung nakakailangan hindi pa ang nalagyan. Dito, ang occupant load, maliwanag, yung bawat inihan, ano ang accessory area? Basta, yung accessory area, yung occupant load, pwede na i-discard. Whatever it is. Civic requirement. Civic requirement will be reported to the office, complete the report and be determined by the occupant load, which is the largest number of persons. No obstruction can be placed in the report list of any city created by the law. Civic requirements provided to ang civic requirements will be based on the based on the occupant load. Kung requirement, time, ilan, ano yung capacity factor natin? Capacity factor, bawat place of attending, capacity factor for horizontal and stairs. So that's how we compute for the weight of the suit for the civic requirement. Compute for the occupant load, kalau na-compute na natin ang occupant load, we will multiply 8 by the capacity factor. Ilan ang capacity factor na natin? Halimbawa, place of attending, Aneng, ilan yung capacity factor niya? Kalimutan na. Aneng? Alin. Capacity factor.
Sir, 5.
Tal. O stair.
7.8.
So, ayaw naalala niyo yung lecture natin, ano? Kasi sa exhibit requirement, diba? Exhibit requirement, the number of the seat or the weight of the seat, kailangan natin na makompute ang occupant load. After computing the occupant load, we multiply the occupant load with the capacity factor. For stairs, 7.6, for others, yung healthcare, diba? Mas mataas. 11 point. 11 ba yun? So, all others, 7.6 and 5. I hope naalala nyo. Civic requirement, requirement will be reported of use for different purposes and determined by the occupant the largest number of persons or no obstruction ano natin ito. Posting of room capacity, any room having an occupant load of more than 50, restricted are not stored and which is used for classroom, assembly, or similar purpose can have the capacity of room posting use space near the main estate from the room. This same may same provision din dito yung diba? Yung fire code. Kailangan natin post na kapapati na promotan na 50. So, building code, ganun din. Changes in individual step in Group A. Anong Group A? Group A, Peter Jalawat. Anong Group A?
Sir, yung dwelling po, President.
Residential dwelling. Changes in individual of less than 300 meters allowed existing meters or more 30 units of except for family dwelling or family dwelling. Except in Group A, properties changes in individual of less than 300 meters along with the fairly tributary of the community or more 30 by means of ramp. Okay. Alam na naman yung control factor ng under the building code. Building code. Tingnan natin. Dwelling. Sa building code, 28, sa fire code, ilan? Check nyo yung fire code, no? Kung sa dwelling, residential, sa building code ay 28, sa residential, ilan?
18.6.
18.6.
Yes.
Tuesday, ilang square meter ang bahay mo? Sa tuloy mo, ilang square meter? Hindi. Ilang square meter ang bahay mo? Sa tingin mo, gano'ng kalaki? Hindi.
Yes, sir.
Gano'ng kalaki ang bahay mo?
Ang bahay ko is 90.
90 square meter.
90.
90 divided by 28, 3.2. Ilan kayo sa bahay nyo?
Dalawa lang kami.
Susunod na siya kayo. Kasi dalawa. Kasi bakit dito, tatlo. O ikaw naman, ID, gano'n talaga ang bahay mo? Ilang square meter sa tingin mo?
Hindi ko po sir alam.
Sabihin
na, may per square meters na pwede. May lawas. Sergio.
Yung bahay. Para maintindihan nyo kung ano, mga gamit ito. Mga pakto na yan. Marinda, ikaw lang. Huwag lang square ng bahay mo. Para mapigil natin. Marinda.
100 sir, 100. 100 po sir.
Ilan kayo sa bahay mo?
5 sir, sobra kami.
Sobra kayo. Dapat sa
Yes sir.
Divided by 28, mga 3-4 na kayo. Sobra kayo. So, napakalaki ng requirements under the building code. Imagine, 100 square meters, space. Ano ito ba yan?
Hindi sir, hindi po.
So, nakuha niyo yung ano? Nakuha niyo? So, kung 100 square meter na bahay ni Marita, kasi ano? Kahit, ano sa pagdito ko, pinipinutang dito. Kasi tatlo lang. Ang hindi pa ito bahay ni Marita. Pero in reality, marami naman talaga mga nag-square kahit ano dyan, pang tao pa dyan, kaya. Pero kung para strict with the building code, pwede, sobra kayo, over, pupunta ko. Ano ba tawagan? Crowded na kayo, crowded na. Ano? Crowded na. So, this being experimented per person, imagine na nag-isa ka, ang being experimented, ano na siya, malaki na siya, stage na siya, hindi mo siya nagdan. Ano? Pero, you know, in reality, hindi mo natin. Kasi, alam mo na, ang Pinoy, hindi naman tayo lahat mayaman, yung ng bahay, minsan, nakikita ng laman. So, this cannot be import na strictly ito mga kapitalism. Pagdating sa bahay, ano? Pagdating sa bahay. Pero sa hotel, another, type frequency, pwede ito import. Now, sa hotel, the same sa building ko, or the same sa part ko, ba?
Yes, sir. Yes, po. Yes.
How about the classroom?
1.9.
1.9. 1.9. So, mas maliit yung pag-ibig ko, malaki ng konti sa fire code. 1.8 and 1.9. Pero napag-ibig pa rin sa sabihin, pag pinunod natin yung pinagiging code, mas marami ang building mag-expire. Unlike sa building code, kasi malaking impact ko, at kasi at building mag-expire. Sa conference, 1.4, this is less concentrated, underpaid potential, tama? Silicon, less concentrated, and underpaid potential, 1.4, parehas din, hindi ko school shop, wala tayo nito, ano? Underpaid ko, wala. Vocational institution, under education, vocational institution, saan ba natin ito kapapos? Laboratories, educational, laboratories for project, laboratories, project lang, wala tayo dito sa mga use or occupancy. Pero we can classify that under educational. So, hospital, 8.4. Ilan ba yung natin sa hospital? Ilan ba sa kayo?
11.1.
11.1. Sabihin, mas maliit na dapat ito mas stringent yung fire code kaysa building code. Sa nursing home, anyway, binigyan ko lang kami ng idea, pinakita ko lang sa dito so that you can compare, ano, but there's no need for you to memorize all of this. In the first place, yung fire code naman ang napituloy with regards sa mga hospital law. Naintindihan?
Yes, sir.
Kinumpare lang natin, ano? Huwag nyo na itong i-memorize pa. Ayan, halos parehas lang, ano? Itong auditorium theater, Curtis Chapel, this is, ano ito, concentrated ito, ano? Sa kanila is 65. Sa atin, ilan ito?
The same, sir.
65 din.
Apa.
65. So, this is concentrated under place of the place. Ito na yung sa fire code, auditorium, place of worship, dance floor. I mean, hindi ko pala dito na-discuss inyo. Yung number of feet, ano. Sa dwelling pala, minimum 3 feet para more than 10. Ano? So, kagaya ng hotel, minimum palagi ng 2 feet. Sa classroom, minimum pag 50, minimum 2 feet, pag parental, minimum ng 2 feet. Sa hospital, minimum ng 2 feet, pag 5 ang occupant load. Sa store, minimum pag may 50 and above na occupant, minimum ng 2 feet. So, yan yung pagkakain. Sa fire code, ano, ito, diba? minimum to exceed each floor and story. For occupant load, 501,000, minimum 36, for 1,001, and above, for exceed. Ito yung occupant load factor niya. Assembly, 0.6, concentrated, less concentrated, 1.4, standing room, waiting space. Standing room. Imagine 0.28 square meter. Ilan na ang 0.28 square meter? Ilan ang dimension yan? Ngayon na natin. Standing room. Zero of 0.28. 0.28. So, standing room pala, mga 0.53 ang dimension per tao. Kaya naman, or 0.28 square meter. 0.28 square meter kada tao. Ano ito mga standing room nito? Sa foyer, sa terminal. So, yun yung standing room. Foyer ng sinihan, diba? Area 56 and determine whether number 56 or required as feature 56 or must be used to increase the occupant load. Required as space that 56 cannot be used to increase the occupant load. That's why it's increase much in use na may 56, yung number 6, yung bilang natin, hindi tayo gumagamit ng computation na area over occupant load factor. So, educational, yan. Sa chapel lab, meron pala tayo educational din, for student care, student care, yan, dito tayo po. Compare lang po natin storage naman, maximum probable population. So, storage kasi, kung napakalaki ng storage area, napakalaki. Pero in a normal course of operation, napaka-tunti lang naman ang pagkakalagyan. Napaka-tunti. Number 6, under the building code, every building or reasonable course to their house and have at least one exit. Siyempre, paano kalalabas na walang exit? If all occupancies, floors, above the first story having occupant load of 10, can have less than 50. Sa atin, direkto bato ng 2. If mezzanine floor, used for another storage for other than storage purposes, is greater than 150 square meter or more than 80 meters in dimension can have 2 stairways. 200 stores. Every story or portion thereof having an occupant load of 579 can have a utility. Tingnan nyo sa kanila, 500 to 999 sa atin, required tayo ng basics, ilan ang occupant load dapat sa basics? 501 to 1,000 kapag diba? Sa kanila, 500 to 999. Tatlong state, resultor. And 1,000 in above for state. Sa Faircode, 500 yung below, dalawa. 501 to 1,000, tatlo. Minimum. 1,001 in above, apat. And yun yan. Ano ba natin? Ano yun? Ito. For occupant load, 500. Actually, dito pala, yes, 500 to 1,000. 500 in below, dalawa. 500 to 1,000, tatlo. And then, 100 to 1,000, 1 in above, apat. Unlike sa building code, 500 to 900 times lang. Ano? Tatlong feet, 1,000 na ba? Apat. The number of feet required for a story of a building can be determined by using the occupancy of floors which fit to the level under consideration as follows. 50% of the occupancy in the first adjusted story above in the first and the first adjusted story below. When the story below fits to level under consideration and 25% of the occupancy in the story is beyond the first adjusted story. Hindi dahil dito. Actually, kaya ko sana itong wait lang baka. Wait lang. Can we take a break for 15 minutes? Break muna tayo 15 minutes.
Yes.
Salamat.
Break. Inyo. We'll continue our lesson. To continue, ability to exit, the number of exits required from any story of a building shall be determined by using the occupant load. Thank you, Rona. Shall be determined by using the occupant load of floors which exit through the level under consideration as follows. 50% of the occupant load in the first adjacent story above and the first adjacent story below when the story below is through the level under consideration, and 25% of the occupant load in the story immediately beyond the first adjacent story. Ano ibig sabihin ko nito? Yung ba sa fire code, to determine the number of exits in halimbawa, in every floor, ang kailangan lang natin is to compute for the occupant load doon sa floor under consideration. And we compute for the number of required exits. Ano? Pero sa building code, iba, halimbawa, sa ground floor, ilan ang number of exits dapat sa ground floor? Under the building code, dapat i-consider yung occupant load at least 50% sa second floor plus 25% sa third floor. Say you compute
Ang na naman si Sir.
ano ba na gawin? Pupunta lang sa mga lobita. Pag-aral din, wait. Pwede, pupunta ko ah. Ano sa akin? Saan pinagalan ba? Pwede, pwede mag-aral. Ano ang pang narabal din? Talaga yan. Hello class, nagkakaroon ng technical problem ako. Rona, narinig na po ako.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
sabi nyo, para hindi ma-problema ang ano po. Again, ulitin ko ano. Di ba sa fire code, to determine the number of exits, kailangan lang natin i-determine yung occupant load per floor. Di ba? Pero sa building code, sa ground floor, if you have to compute for the number of exits, you need to consider 50% of the second floor and 25% of the third floor. Paano kung may basement? Basement is a story adjacent, adjacent to the floor of consideration. Halimbawa, yung ground floor.
So you have to compute, you have to add 50% from sa basement, you have to consider the 50% ng sa second floor, and another 25% from sa third floor. If that's the case, so marami ng tawag ito. Lumaki na yung occupant load under consideration sa ground floor. So that's yung requirement yan ng building code. So sa tingin ko mas effective ito. Mas effective. Kasi siyempre naman yung tao sa second floor ay bababa, di ba? Bababa sa ground floor. Yung sa third floor, bababa. Paano kung may emergency? The tendency na magkasabay sila ng mga occupant load ng ground floor, second and third floor is really possible, as well as yung sa basement, possible. Kaya dapat yung sa ground floor mas malaki. But then, sabi ko nga, building ko dito, hindi naman ito kailangan na memorize, at least meron kayong idea. Dati nung nasa face-to-face, kinukompute ko ba ito? Pinapakompute ko sa klase ko. But then, hindi nyo naman ito kailangan. Actually, sinare ko lang sa inyo, at least meron kayong idea what is the difference between the building code and the fire code. The maximum number of exit required for any storage shall be maintained until egress is provided from structures. For purpose of this section, basement or cellars and occupied rooms shall be provided with exits as required for storage. Floors above the second floor, basement and cellars other than the service of the building shall have not less than 2 exits. Width. The total width of exit in meters shall not be less than the total occupant conserved divided by ilan? 165. The total width of exit in meters shall not be less than the total load served divided by 165. Such width of exit shall be divided approximately equally among the separate exits. The total exit width required from any story of a building shall be determined using the occupant load of that story plus the percentage of the occupant loads of floors of which exceeds through the level under consideration. 50% of the occupant load in the first adjacent story above and the first adjacent story below when just to the level under consideration. The maximum exit width from any story of a building shall be the total width of exit
Paduang pansit.
the total width of exit in meters not be less than
Pero
the total
maginhawa lang sa tulak ang pagdayag masyado ka.
divided by 165. Tingnan natin. Halimbawa, yung total occupant load ay 1,000. I-divide ko ng 165. So, halimbawa, yung occupant load ay 1,000. I-divide ko ng 165. Ang total width of exit ko pala ay 6 meters, 6.06 meters. 0.06 meters. That's under the building code, That's under the building code. Pero dapat ang occupant load, i-consider ko yung, halimbawa, kinonsider ko sa ground floor ay 1,000. Sa second floor, dapat 50% 50% of 1,000, sabihin natin 500. Tapos yung sa third floor, 25% is 250. Dapat pala, ang i-compute ko sa ground floor, the floor under consideration, the level under consideration is 1,750 divided by 165. So 10.6 meters ang kailangan, ang required width of exit sa ground floor. kung 1,700, ilan dapat ang minimum number of doors or exit sa ground floor? Ilan? Ilan?
4.
Apat, di ba? Divided by 4. Minimum. So, dapat pala, ang exit ko sa ground floor, kung minimum ay 4, gagamitin ko ay 4, dapat nasa 2.65 meters. So, malaki itong 2.65. Anyway, yung mga malls naman, yung mga mercantile, talaga malaki naman talaga ang mga exit niya. No? So, at least 2.65 if I use 4 doors. Ano? Or exit. So, kung gagamitan ko ng 5, so, 10.65 divided by 5, so lilit siya, ano? Lilit siya. So, naintindihan niyo po ang pagkakaiba sa building code at sa fire code. So, I hope na naintindihan niyo. Sa atin, paano natin sa fire code kinocompute ang will of exit? Paano natin kinocompute? Anay, paano nga natin kinocompute ang will of exit? Anay?
Capacity factor, sir.
Capacity factor. We have to compute for the occupant load times the capacity factor. That is the required will of exit. Naintindihan, Jesse? Jesse? Paano nga natin kinocompute yung total will of exit?
Capacity factor, sir. Capacity factor.
Ano sa capacity factor? Capacity factor. Compute for the total will of exit. You need to compute for the parehas dyan sa parehas dito sa building code. You have to compute for the total occupant load per floor, and divided by, multiply by the capacity factor. Kung anong type of occupancy. Naintindihan? Depende kung horizontal, level component, or stairs. Naintindihan? I hope naintindihan niyo po. Kahit hindi nyo yan, itong sa building code, at least yung sa fire code, dapat maintindihan ninyo. Kasi itong sa building code, comparison lang naman ito. Naintindihan?
Yes, sir.
Halimbawa, may 1,000 tayong occupant load. Sa ground floor. Horizontal yan, So, ilan dapat ang required total width of exit natin? Times 5, Times 5, that's 5,000. Ilan ang number of doors or exit na kailangan sa 1,000? Tatlo, di ba? Tatlo. 1,001. 83. So, 126. So, if you will compare, mas stringent nga ito yung building code technique. Mas stringent. Anyway, let's move on. Arrangement to exit. If only two exits are required, they shall be placed at a distance 1/5 of the perimeter of the area served. 1/5 measured at a straight line between seats. Where three or more seats are required, they shall be arranged a reasonable distance apart so that if one becomes slack, the other is available. Sa atin, arrangement to exit natin, remote niya sa exit, ilan yun? 1/2 of the total diagonal without fire sprinkler, and 1/3 of the total diagonal if may sprinkler. Tingnan nyo ito sa building ko. Walang diagonal dito. But the perimeter. Ano ang perimeter? Ano ang perimeter? Ano ibig sabihin ng perimeter? Ano ang ibig sabihin ng perimeter? Kung ang
ang building mo ay square. Halimbawa, ang building mo ay square, 10 by 10, 10 by 20. Ilan ang perimeter niya? Kung ang building mo ay 10 by square, 10 by 20, ilan ang perimeter? Ilan ang length ng perimeter? Ilan? Siyempre, ang perimeter niya, yung dimension palibot, diba? Kung ang building mo ay 10 by 20, Jesse, ang perimeter mo ay ilan? Ilan? We're talking about the perimeter, ha? Not the area. Not the floor area. Not the floor area, ha? The perimeter. Ha?
60?
Marinda, ilan ang perimeter mo? Kung 20 by 10 by 20 ang dimension ng building mo. Ilan ang perimeter?
60, sir. 60.
60, sir.
60, sir.
60. Ay, 60. Siyempre, ang perimeter, kung ito ay square, kailangan, matawag ng square. O, ito. Ikita niyo po ito. Kung ito po ay rectangle, ang perimeter niya, ito po, ito, yan. Yan ang perimeter niya. Intindihan? Kung ito ay 10, ito ay 20, 10 plus 20, 30. Plus 10, 40. Plus 20, 60. So 60 meters. Kung 60 meters, under the building code, ilan dapat, gaano dapat ang minimum distance between seat? Sabi dito, 1 feet. Kung 1 feet, 60 divided by ilan? Ba? Andyan ba? Asa na si Dudu? Hanapin ko si Dudu. Okay. Ba? Asa na?
Sir, si Ma'am Baba po, tigsugo ni Kowa, may tig-agad po si Kowa.
Ano ba? Okay. O, ikaw na lang, Rona.
Sir.
Sabi ko, nakikita mo yung presentation. Sabi ko dyan, 150 area. 60 ito. Kung 60, ilan dapat ang minimum distance between feet? Sabi dyan, 1 feet. Kung 60 divided by 5. Naintindihan? 60 divided by 5. Naintindihan, class? I hope na naintindihan niyo. Halimbawa naman bilog, paano nyo, okay na, ilan ang 60 divided by 5? 60 divided by 5?
12, sir, 12.
Dapat ang minimum distance between 96 is 12 meters. Now, using the fire code, no sprinkler, 20 by 10. Who can determine the remoteness of the minimum distance of the stick? Please compute. Please compute 20 by 10, ha? Compute the maximum diagonal first. Dali lang. Ito pa akong server. Kaya ay kung Brenda, ilan?
11.18, sir.
Ilan?
11.18, sir.
Paano mo kinumpute? Kinetagure ang theory mo, ano?
Yes, sir.
Eh, na-compute mo yung maximum diagonal. Ilan yung maximum diagonal?
22, sir. 22.36.
22 point. Ilan? Ilan dyan? 22 point.
22.36, sir.
So, divided by?
Sir, 2.
Divided by 2. So the answer is 11 point. Ilan? Tama ba?
Okay, sir. 11.18.
7 point?
11.18, sir.
18, sir. 18.
7.18. So, nakita niyo yung diferensya? Using the formula ng building code. Sa building code ilan? Yung ano natin, 12, diba? 12. Yung distance between, ano? Well, sa fire code ilan? 11.18. So, alin ang mas stringent na, ano, na code? 12. 12. Sa atin, 11.18. Naintindihan?
Yes, sir.
But it does not apply at all times. It does not apply at all times. Pero, bigyan ko tayo ng sample. Tingnan natin. Circle. Compute for the, ang circle, hindi perimeter, ano? Anong tawag sa circle? Yung palibot ng circle?
Circumference.
Paano kung i-click? Anong palibot ng i-click? Para oval, anong palibot ng? Anong tawag? Linear circumference, periphery yan, di ba? Periphery. Now, yung circumference, ano? Halimbawa, ang radius mo ay 10 meters. Ilan ang circumference mo? Ang circumference, that's equivalent to perimeter. Ano? Please compute. Ten by 3.14. Ano ba sinabi ko? Diameter or radius?
Radius, sir.
Because ang radius ko ay 1/2 of the diameter, ano? Diameter. So, ang circumference niya ay pi r 3.14 16 times 10. So, ang perimeter niya ay 31.42 41.6. Sabi natin in meters. Ano? So, divided by 5, 6.28 meters. Kung maximum diagonal, that is the diameter. 20 divided by ilan? Divided by 2. Ang radius niya ay 10. So, under the building code, ang kailangan, ang minimum distance niya ay 6 point something. Pero sa fire code, 10. Naintindihan? So, minsan, mas malaki sa fire code, minsan, mas maliit as compared to the building code. Naintindihan? Yung area natin kanina, yung rectangle. So maximum diagonal using the fire code in the building code to check the arrangement visit, the minimum distance between. Ang nakuha natin, mas mataas yung sa building code. Which means, ilagay yun, 12 so fire code 11.23. Now, another area below. When we compute for the maximum diagonal, of course, yung circle, ang maximum diagonal niya is the diameter. Kasi kahit saan yan ikat, maximum diagonal niya is the diameter. So, if the radius is 10, so 1/2 of 10, if the maximum diagonal is 20, because the radius is 10, definitely yung 1/2 of the maximum diagonal is also 10, right? Now, the circumference of a circle is 31 point something divided by 5. That is the minimum distance of the street under the building code. So, in that case, mas mataas ngayon yung nagawa natin sa fire code compared sa building code. But, doon sa first na natin, na example, mas mataas naman yung building code sa so, I hope naintindihan niyo po yung pagkakaiba in computing or determining the distance, the minimum distance is sabot. Naintindihan po. IB, naintindihan mo IB? Batteries na? Naintindihan? Distance. No point in a building without sprinkler system shall be more than 45 from the exterior exit door in horizontal exit passageway or an enclosed stair measured along the line of bubble. In a building equipped with complete automatic fire extinguishing system, the distance will be 6 meters. So, ano masasabi nyo? Some other division ng fire code applicable to that, diba? Applicable, except if applicable sa saan? Sa daycare, sa healthcare, ano? Pero sa iba, business, mercantile, alas parehas. Doors. Under the building code, the provision herein shall apply to every street door serving an area, saving an occupant load of more than 10 or serving a standard room or area. Swing. The street door shall swing in the direction of the street rather than serving a standard area or when serving an occupant load. Parehas of fire code. Double acting door shall not be used as street serving a tributary area, tributary occupant load of more than 100. Double acting door. Nor shall be used as part of the fire assembly, nor equipped with panic flood door. A double acting door shall be divided with few panels of not less than 1,600 square feet. What is a double acting door? By the way, double acting door. It's a double acting door. It's a double acting door. It's a double acting door. Na-discuss na ba natin yan? Double acting door, it can swing inside and outside, di ba? Double acting door. Hindi pwede. Bakit? Yung papasok at papalabas, maaari silang kasalubong. Kaya may provision sa building code, kahit pala sa atin, at sa fire code. Kung ang occupant ko siya more than 100, foul yan, no? And then dapat meron siyang view panel. Anong view panel? Yung glass, di ba yung glass? Yung glass, para makita mo kung may papasok. Baka kung walang glass, naghang ba glass? Hindi naman, sir. Okay. Yung double acting door, it can swing inside and outside. So, kailangan siya, bawal sigripan dyan ng sorry, again class. Karoon ako ng problema. Minsan nawawala yung connection. Okay, let's continue. Type of lock or latch, exit door. Gagaya ng sa fire code now. Shall be openable from inside without the use of key or a special knowledge or report, except that this requirement shall not apply to exterior exit doors in group E and F occupancy if there is a conspicuous, readily visible, and durable sign on or adjacent to the door, stating that the door is to remain unlocked during business hours. The locking device must be of type that will readily be distinguishable as lock, flash bolt, or surprise bolts are to hit this door. Na-recess natin sa fire code. Width and height. So, dito, ang headroom niya ay ilan? 2 meters in height. Every required exit door shall be of a size as to permit the installation of a door of not less than 90 mm in width. 90 sa kanila, 90. And 200 mm in height. When installed in exit doorway, exit door shall be capable of opening at least 90 degrees and shall be so mounted that the clear width of the exit is not less than 700 mm. So, computing the required exit width, the net dimension of the exit shall be used. You see, door liquid, no lift of any exit door shall not exceed 1.2 meters in width. Sa fire code ilan? 1 point ilan? Ilan yung
1.22.
1.22. So, napakaliit na diferensya. Negligible, Negligible. Special door, revolving, sliding, and overhead door shall not be used as required exit. Egress from door. Every required exit door shall give immediate access to an approved means of egress from the building. Ano pa nga dito? Change in floor level at doors. So regardless of the occupant door, there shall be a floor on landing on each side of an exit door. Parehas din sa fire code, The floor or landing shall be leveled with and not more than 50 mm lower than the threshold of the doorway, except that in group A and B occupancies, residential, hotel, apartment, a door may open on the top step of a flight of stairs of an exterior landing provided. Continue. Yung wara-wara sa signal. Corridors. Corridors and exit balconies. The provision herein shall apply to every corridor or exit balcony serving the required exit of an occupant of more than 10. So, sa weight naman ng corridor, 1.1 ang minimum sa kanila. Sa atin nila, 915. 915. So, dead end limits nila, projection. Pasahin na lang ito. Hindi naman ito masyadong importante sa atin. So, sa dead end limits, parehas 6 meters. And ceilings of corridors shall not be less than 1 hour fire resistant. Required to be wala sorry agad na makapigti na yung bangko signal militi. Anyway, let's continue para matapos na. Width of stairway
Pag more than 50 person, not less than 1.1. Pag less than 50 person, 900 mm wide. Ano? So, halos hindi naman nakakalayo sa fire code. Yung sa riser and run naman, yung sa not less than 250. Yung riser naman nila, 200 mm. Ano? The rise of every step in a stairway shall not exceed 200. Yung run naman or the thread is 250. Sa atin, ilan? Sa fire code is sa fire code is 180 ang riser and ang thread ay ilan? 280. 280. Sa building code, ang riser niya ay 200, ang thread niya ay 250. Winding stairs in group A and in private stairs in group B, occupancies, winders may be used. Anong winders? Anong winders? Winders. Edison, anong winders? Winding stair. In group A daw, pwede. And in private anong winder, Edison? Edison, anong winder?
Anong idea, sir?
Winder, para siyang spiral, ano? Ang winder is parang spiral. Kasi yung spiral, ang spiral class, ang point isa ang spiral. Ang winder, medyo paikot din siya, paikot. Pero ang point, paano ko ba explain sa inyo? Ang 5 volt point niya, isa ang spiral, ganyan, pataas. Ang winder naman, although iisa ang 5 volt point niya, pero hindi, halimbawa sa bahay natin, kulang space, ano, pagdating sa landing, nagkakaroon na parang abaniko sa hagdan. That's also winder. Abaniko parang spiral din ang dating niya, ano, pero hindi siya continuous. And another one, yung hagdan na medyo lumiliko na hagdan, parang tawag dyan, curve siya na hagdan, curve. So yung yung thread and riser doon, winding ang tawag doon. Ayun, naintindihan nyo. Handrails, 900 ang pinakamababa, 800 and 900 ang pinakamataas. So sa atin naman, mayroon 760 and ilan? 1005. The headroom, 2 meters, alos parehas. The ramp conforming to the provisions of the code may be used as an exit. The width and the width of the ramp shall be as required for corridors. Outlets, courts, passageway. Hindi na masyado itong importante. Aisles. So, yung sa aisles, bigay ko na lang ito sa inyo. Patayin nyo na lang. But there's no need for you to memorize all of this. Kasi hindi ko naman yan ibibigay sa exam. And hindi naman natin actually yung kailangan. Because our reference to fire code. Set distance. Or the travel distance sa atin, ano? Seat spacing. Sa fire code, na-discuss ko na rin ito sa sinihan. So space back to back. With standard setting, the spacing of rows of seats from back to back shall not be less than the millimeter. Sige, ano na ano po. I-okay mo lang pinto ko dyan. Mahina daw yung wifi namin ngayon. Siguro dahil nag-burn out sa Albay. Yung GCTV. Kanina. So, ano tayo? Seat spacing. With continental setting, the spacing of rows of unoccupied seats shall be provided with a clear measured horizontally as follows: 450 millimeters clear from rows of 18 seats or less, 500 millimeter clear of rows of 35 seats or less, 525 millimeter clear of rows of 45 seats or less, 500 millimeter clear of rows of 46 seats or more. Ano ibig sabihin nito? With continental setting, the spacing of rows of unoccupied seats shall provide at least a clear width of. Yung sa harapan, yung sa harapan, yung kinocomplete natin sa fire code, harapan yun, ito ang ibig sabihin niya. Pag ang rows mo ay 18 seats, dapat minimum of 450. Pag ang rows mo naman, mga 35 seats, dapat 500 ang nasa harapan. Pag 45 seats ang rows mo, ang capacity, ang harapan mo, ang dadaanan mo dyan, clear back ng harap at saka upuan mo ay 525. Then 550 naman, ang minimum, kung ang rows mo ay 46 or more ang capacity. Bilisin na natin. So, sabi ko nga, sa building code, fire extinguishing system is also a requirement. Ano? But since we are the authority, BFP ang authority in terms sa pag-require ng fire extinguishing system, tayo ang masusunod. Hindi yung building code. May dry standpipe tenda, may wet standpipe. But look at this. All fire extinguishing system, including automatic sprinkler, wet and dry standpipe system, automatic chemical extinguisher system, chemical extinguishers, basement pipe inlet, and other appurtenances thereto shall meet the approval of the fire department as to the installation and location, and shall be subject to such periodic test as it may require. Although it is required under the building code, as I said, we are the authority. So, tayo pa rin ang masusunod. Yung requirements pa rin ng BFP. So, thank you. Tapos na tayo. Any question? Any question? Any question? Wala? So, ibig sabihin na intindihan na ano? Naintindihan na. Any question, class? Before we end our lecture, kung may
sir, question po. Potri Rivero, sir.
Sige po.
Sir, cited ba po sa ano, sa building code with regard sa payment sa municipal engineer officer? Ano kaya, sir? May mga usual kaya existing man talaga ni sir, ano, ang naglalako, sir, mismo kang mga papeles, mga taga engineering office.
And then
Garo, sir, ano, bakong transparent, sir, medyo may patong.
You mean the
ang mga dumbbell, di naman maintan. Ano naman siya? Standard naman siya. Kung hindi, siyempre, kung papalakarin nyo sa loob, ay siyempre naman, mag-a-add on yung maglalatag sa inyo. Diba? So, kung mag-apply ka ng building permit, ipakarin nyo para hindi ka na mag-add on, hindi ka na magasikan masyado. So, kung gagamit ka ng parang tawag ito, yung sa business permit, ano yung broker? Ano yung tawag doon?
Except.
Yung
Fixer, sir.
hindi naman fixer.
Bookkeeper.
Ha?
Bookkeeper, sir.
Bookkeeper. Oo. Sa business permit, may bookkeeper pa. So, magpapayat ka ng fee, ng bookkeeper para ilakarin yung as to this payment, as to this fee, patandad yan. Ito ang fee. Plan. Pag-discuss na natin yan, di ba? Kung ano ang set of architectural plan, ano include sa architectural plan. So, you need an engineer or an architect to prepare an architectural plan and to sign the plan. You also need structural or civil engineer to prepare or sign for the structural plan. An electrical engineer for the electrical plan. Mechanical or professional mechanical engineer for the mechanical plan. And a registered master planner or sanitary engineer for the planning plan. So that's the set of building plan. The architectural, electrical, mechanical, the structural plan, and the planning plan. So kailangan mo yung lahat. So lahat ng plano na yun dapat pirmado ng owner, pirmado ng design professional. Design professional. And of course, yung mga yung mga rough estimate, specification, as well as the application forms, the clearances, yung zoning clearance, yung CCP, So, actually, marami requirements in applying for building permit. The last plan, well, it should be signed by the deputy. The first page is certification. So, mahal. Ang tanong, ilan kaya ang abot ninyo kung kayo ay mag-apply ng building permit? It depends. Probably mga 60,000. 60,000. Kung kukuha kayo ng ano pa lang yan, hindi pa architect ang tawag ito, ang mag-prepare yung sa inyo. Baka draftsman pa lang kaibigan yung engineer or architect. Kasi if you will apply for building permit, you will get the services, or the service is an engineer or an architect. But based on the cost estimate, i-charge kayo ng mga 5%. 5% or 7%. Depende. Wala ka ng budget. Diba? Kung 5% na lang, magkano ngayon ang typical na two-story, halimbawa 100 meters ang building footprint, mga 200 meters yan. 200 square meter, I mean. So, kung 200 square meter, pag natin 20 per square, but 4 million, so 20,000 per square meter. So, ang 5% nila na 200,000. So, you need to spend 200,000.